Welcome back to Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. Join us as we venture year-round into the fog.
Make sure you give us a like and a follow on your podcast platform of choice. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube page where we upload every episode in its video format, and maybe a few other surprises as well.
Make sure you're following us on social media to keep up to date with our newest haunted content.
I'm Nick.
I'm Seamus.
I'm Jamie.
Back for part 2 of our 25 best horror movies of the last 25 years. These episodes, we mentioned it last week, we're going to kind of jump into this one a lot quicker than last time because we don't have to go over the whole shtick. If you're listening to this one, I assumed you listened to the last one. If you
didn't, go listen to the first one.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
Nope. Yep, you're missing out on the first 10 years of it. Now you're only getting the tail end, which I think are going to get a little saucier. I feel like Seamus knew what he was doing in these last couple of years, a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like the second half of the last couple of decades, it's kind of hit or miss. Like there's years that are bangers, and there's years that are like, I think it's going to be pretty obvious which one we all vote for. But we'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see kind of where everybody kind of lands. At least in the beginning of the decade. As we get closer to the end, it's a little bit different, but.
Yeah. Since recording our last week's episode, there was a speculation nap on Friday the 13th. We haven't done a proper episode with Jamie. We will do that probably in the next couple of weeks. If you want to see a fairly in-depth, it was supposed to be kind of instant reactions, but me and Seamus went for over 2 hours. If you head to our YouTube page, you can still rewatch or re-listen to that under the live tab. It's not on our podcast feed, but if that's something that's interesting you and you can't wait for us to cover it on the podcast feed, go over to YouTube and check that out for our live section. We also have a lot of fun back and forths with the comment section on there. So I do have a different beer. I have one that I think is kind of fitting, and this is Solid Gold Good Times. This is Let the Good Times Roll. We're in the Mardi Gras season, and these episodes, not to pull the curtain back too much, I think we've built such an HHN fan base that kind of the horror movie episodes don't do as well, but they are my favorite to record. I have more fun talking about this than talking about fucking, Five Nights at Freddy's for 6 months.
I can't talk about Horror Nights every damn week. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong; it's my favorite thing ever. But like at the same time, like I need to talk about some other things every once in a while. And if we could talk about sports and drama and music, I would do that too. But clearly, we're a horror based podcast, so we don't delve too far. We don't go too far out of our comfort zone, but it is nice once in a while to do some of these movie episodes, especially when we do our movie reviews and things like that. So and please listen to these because I want to do more of them.
Yes. These are, like I said, we have a lot of fun, and all the comments we got were very enthusiastic about how passionate we were about this stuff. And it's not stuff that we get to talk about all too often. And, maybe things will change. Maybe we'll find an opportunity to, be able to do more of these outside of the feed, but we shall see. But this beer that I'm drinking from Magnifying Brewing Company. It is from Fairfield, New Jersey, and it is their second anniversary ale. It's hopped with loads of Citra late in the whirlpool and double dry hopped with an irresponsible amount of Nelson Sauvin. Or Savin, whatever that is. But it's an 8.5
hop.
Yeah, 8.5 double imperial IPA. So I'm going to crack this thing open. And like I said, we are jumping right in. So, Seamus, we are in the year 2011.
We are starting tonight with 2011 because we left off at 2010. Do you want me to kind of just reiterate really quick the movies that we kept for last year? I won't go through all 4 of your year, but I can just run through the list real quick.
I'd say maybe a super quick rundown. I'm going to foam over.
Yeah, I'll be fast. I'll be really fast. So
Well, I was going to say a rundown of kind of what the shtick is, just in case people don't want to listen to part 1 and the winners from last time.
Yeah. So if you're one of those weirdos that only watches part 2s of things, I mean, I get it. It's a little weird, but hey, man, you do you. The idea is I come up with 4 horror movies, and it's going to be 4 for each year from the year 2000 to 2025. So the last 25 years, the first quarter of the new millennium. And what the three of us have to do is basically fight to the death about which one we're keeping and which three are going into the ether, into the what I like to call the Toy Story pit, the Toy Story 3 pit, the sad, sad pit where everything burns away forever. So that's kind of the idea. It's not a whole lot going on, really. It's just, which movie is best and which movie is worth keeping for posterity, and we'll go from there. So I'll just run through what we picked last. I'm not going to go through each movie that was listed every year. If you really want to know, go listen to the episode. If you already listened to the episode, then I guess just put up with this for the next 2 minutes. But so the year 2000, we went with American Psycho. 2001, we ended up going with 13 Ghosts. 2002, we went with The Ring, the American remake of the Japanese movie. 2003, we went with Freddy vs. Jason. 2004, we went with Saw. 2005, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. 2006, Silent Hill. 2007, Trick or Treat. 2008, The Strangers. And 2009, Jennifer's Body. And then finally, 2010, Insidious. So we're getting into some heavy hitters, I think. 2011 to 2025, I think there was a lot of really good movies to come out throughout the last 14 or 15 or so years. It's actually kind of insane to say that statement out loud, but I think it's going to be somewhat hard for certain years and somewhat easy for certain years, because I feel like there was like off and on certain years there was a ton of movies, and then certain years it was pretty lean. But well, I'm interested to see where we go with this. I tried again, like I said in the previous episode, I tried to stay away from as many sequels and remakes as I could, but unfortunately for some years, there wasn't a lot to pick from, so we ended up having to go with a few of them. So there are some sequels in here, so there are some remakes, so bear with me. But I made sure that these were all movies that I enjoy, that I really like, that I think the community really likes, and I'm interested to see kind of where the three of us go with this. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into 2011. And the movies we have for this year is The Cabin in the Woods, The Grey, Grave Encounters, and The Thing prequel. And I should say that we usually give ourselves 5 minutes to discuss.
Oh yeah, I didn't even set that time. Yeah, let's
never
get that
ends
timer
up
going.
Never ends up going 5 minutes. So
no, it's just more of a guideline.
I think this is a pretty easy one. Maybe not for you guys. I think this is only really one in here.
All right, well, I'll start the timer, and then Jamie, why don't
you go ahead?
Why don't you kick it off? I got the timer going now. You kick it off.
It was The Cabin in the Woods, The Grey, Grave Encounters, and The Thing prequel, correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, personally, I would think Cabin in the Woods would be the forerunner on this one. The Grey...
Yeah, this is definitely one of those years, yeah.
I was going to say, The Grey, it's either I've seen it maybe once, I'm familiar with the name of it, but don't think I have seen it. Grave Encounters I've seen, didn't mind, wasn't my favorite, but The Thing prequel, this is the one that came out in 2011, and this is the one that they actually had the house based off at HHN, I think, too.
Yes.
Which I do remember seeing the movie, kind of more back then, and doing the house, which that wasn't a bad one, but I feel like this year kind of was made for Cabin in the Woods. I feel like that movie still holds up to this day. We still like watching it.
I have to like kind of refresh my brain on a lot of those ones other than Cabin in the Woods. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've seen The Grey.
So The Grey, let me kind of just give you a quick synopsis. Again, some of these years are weird. So The Grey is actually, it's nothing supernatural about it. It's just gentleman gets kind of like, accident happens. I can't quite remember if it was a crash or a plane crash or something like that, but whatever. He's lost in the woods. It's wintertime, and it's basically going up against a pack of wolves who are trying to hunt him down. And it's Liam Neeson,
I think I've seen that one.
Who's obviously a great actor. Very interesting role to see him in, because this was relatively, again, it's 14 years old at this point, 15 years old at this point, but still an interesting role to see him in. But it's a underrated movie. I think it's worth watching if you haven't seen it yet. Grave Encounters is another underrated found footage movie. It's another movie
ghost
where
hunters, right?
Yeah, it's a ghost hunters hunting ghosts at some like asylum or whatever. It came out kind of right around the same time as a lot of those ghost hunter shows were super popular, and kind of played off of those fears. But it was better than it looks. It's one of those movies where you see like the title, you see the cover of the movie, and you're like, I think I'm gonna pass. But I do recommend giving it at least a chance because it was a pretty decent underrated movie. And then the Thing prequel, I know that it gets a lot of hate. It's not great. It's not the best thing I've ever seen. But I am such a Thing fanboy. I'm such a Thing, the original the Thing, that I had to give this one a chance. And it's kind of cool.
I didn't mind it.
It's cool to see like how everything kind of got like you're like, oh, I see, I remember that. Oh, I remember that from the first movie. It's a little bit of fan service and it's probably not everybody's cup of tea, but for the movies that were available in 2011, it's one of my more favorite ones. And I'm sure there's some ridiculously underrated super indie movie that someone's gonna be like, you didn't talk about that. And listen, we get it. I know we don't know everything, so I understand. It's okay. If you like something
we
that
can't
we didn't
talk about every movie.
let us know so we can check it out. Because if it's something that I didn't put on here, it's probably because I haven't seen it or I saw it once and I wasn't wild about it.
Yeah, I do think that this one is a easy pick. At least for
I would
me.
agree. I think when putting this together, I think I kind of did that.
Cabin in the Woods is weird though because so like it was. I had to double check. It was technically debuted in 2011 at a festival in like December, and then it got released in April of 2012. So it's kind of one of those movies that are like,
gotcha.
it's bold.
That's like House of Thousand Corpses. Yeah,
well,
correct.
Again, I'm banking
Paranormal
off
Activity,
of,
same thing.
it's not.
This is what
IMDb.
IMDb told me.
Yeah,
IMDb said it was 2011, so I'm going with 2011.
Yeah.
Before anybody screams at me, then blame IMDb because they're the ones who told me, and they're the international movie database, not Jimmy Ray's movie database in the back of his head. So guess what? That's the way it works.
We're picking one source and we're sticking with it to keep it consistent across the board.
International movie database.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry,
everybody.
I mean, Cabin in the Woods is it's insane. It's such a mind fuck. Like who came up with it? It was such a fun concept. It's something that I'm pretty upset hasn't been kind of done again because I did think after watching it, I thought we were bound to get like the Japanese version because it shows at the end like all the different countries are doing their different versions of this. So I was like ready for like the Japanese version or like an Australian or European take on this where it's a lot of the same creatures because they kind of used everything. I mean, they had like clowns, mermaids, the Buckner family. Oh, and that's our time.
The like tooth ballerina. That one was
the
my
ballerina.
favorite,
Yeah, like they were just the little
guy
guy that kind of looked like Pinhead, but instead of pins, he had like buzz saws or whatever, or saw blades in his face. It was just such a fun, wild concept. Chris Hemsworth is in this, like weird.
That's right. Yeah,
it throws me off every time.
Early Thor. This is
I forget.
Thor.
I think his name was it Robert Duvall, the dad from Step Brothers. I think he was one of the.
I think so.
The whatever workers there.
It was him, and then I forget the guy's name, but the guy from Happy Gilmore, or no, Billy Madison. Excuse me. He's in it, and I forget his name all the time, but he's always in like some random comedies and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but it's one of those movies that like you go into it, you're like, all right, it's gonna be like a standard, your typical kids in a cabin horror movie. Like, all right, cool. Like, what are they gonna do with this? But they do keep cutting to this like industrial, like business, like dudes in suits and ties and stuff, and you're like, what is going on? Like, I can't figure out what's going on. And then the twist is really good. So it is definitely a movie worth checking out. If you haven't seen this yet and you're a horror fan, I mean, you really do have to give this a shot. I can't expect everybody to like it, but
I expect you all to love this movie.
It is so unique that it is one you can revisit multiple times. And I am glad they didn't turn this into a mindless fucking franchise. I'm so glad they did it.
Too.
One movie,
I am too,
and that's
Seamus.
it. Because I hate when they do this thing and it's like they make a movie that's really cool and unique, and then they're like, hey, let's make it a franchise.
Yep. It wouldn't have the same vibe if it was made today, honestly.
Especially
when it came
you
out,
also know
early,
what's coming. It's the same with Saw. Like, I hated most of the Saw sequels because, like, at that point, how do you top it? Like, the twist is so good that, like, now you go into every movie thing, you're just expecting some sort of twist, and it turns into torture porn. So,
see, I think this is a movie that's perfectly set up to have multiple iterations because it can be like similar but different.
Nick.
It's not like the same killer. It's not like Jason comes back again. 12 movies of Jason. You can have a whole bunch of different nightmarish things.
I think I get that. I think I understand.
But you
that
already
point, but
you already know the plot twist, which I feel like was the big thing
Right.
about it, was
Twist
that
it
they were
again.
being watched
Keep
and
twisting.
all that kind of. And I guess
There's
that they
gotta
all
be
got
a
to
way.
find out on their own.
Stick that
These
knife
people
in
are-
and twist.
Yeah. These screenwriters are way smarter than me, so they can figure it out. I mean, shit, look at all the Knives Out movies. They get me every time.
Yeah, those movies are great.
Every time it's a new twist. You think you got it, and you
Excuse
don't. But no, I mean, Cabin in the Woods, I think, is just an all-timer. It's a classic. It does blend that comedy horror. And like you said, it's a very bait and switch movie. You think it's Evil Dead. Like it's, oh, they're going to the cabin. There's like spooky things that are going to happen. And it's like, oh no, there's like a whole company that's like placing gambling wagers on who's going to kill who.
Gambling at the office.
That was the funniest. I loved that aspect. It's
That
just
was funny.
these kids in pure horror, and then it's like a cutscene right to like, all right, who had the mermaids? Who had the Buckner family? It's like, oh, that was the maintenance team again. They win every year. It's like you always bet zombies.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I guess I'll kick us off, but I'm going Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to assume that it's Cabin in the Woods. So.
Yeah.
All right.
It's unanimous.
Yeah, it's a unanimous vote. We don't all do. So again, if you're one of the ones that are just watching part 2 for some reason without watching part 1, we don't do too many unanimous years. I feel like I've done a good enough job where we're all kind of picking. We don't have to talk each other down from the ledge. But 2012, we have Sinister, which again, the fact that this came out in 2012 blows my fucking mind.
Isn't it crazy?
That's insane. VHS, the first VHS.
Damn, I forgot about that too.
The Woman in Black, which I think is an underrated, low key, good movie. And then
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah,
I think it was like right after. It was basically him, like right off of Harry Potter, essentially.
Yeah.
And then Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that movie. That's so funny.
Which is like
I forgot. I don't even know if I saw that one.
That is a movie that
I completely
like
forgot about that.
Guilty pleasure, man. I love that movie.
All right.
So yeah, so Sinister, VHS, The Woman in Black, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. I'm interested to see where everybody goes with this. I feel like there's probably one that wins, but I want to kind of see where you guys are thinking.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm leaning Sinister, just because it was the first movie in a long time that I put in, and just immediately was like, oh shit, like this, they're not fucking around.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what, like, it sucked me in immediately, and I was like locked in from the moment the movie started to the movie ended. So, not counting the shitty sequel, this movie was really good. And I'm actually surprised that this movie came out earlier than a few of the ones on this list. Like I was going through it and I'm like, this came out before that? Like, that's weird. I blew my mind, but
yeah. Well, Jamie, I know one of these is one of your all-timers, so why don't you lead us off on this one then?
Well, that would be Sinister. It is one of my old-timers. I mean, and contrary to popular belief as well, I don't mind the second one. It's definitely not as good as the first one. But some of the home videos that they have are okay, like the one where they're in the church and they put like the hot bucket on top of the people's stomachs and the rats like dig into them. Ooh, that one's kind of creepy. But gotta rewatch that one again soon. What?
That was a scene in Too Fast, Too Furious, I think.
I would have never known that. Thanks, Nick. That made me lose my train of thought.
Bobby from Sons of Anarchy had rats gnaw into his intestines.
What? Oh my gosh. What is the Fast and the Furious getting into? Anyways, back to Sinister and why it's such a great movie. Yeah, I mean, coming out for the time, I feel like, this is 96, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I was like 15 or 16 years old. For me, I feel like horror, I was definitely more into it than I was still into it when I was younger, but I was actually more scared of stuff. But now I was kind of getting into the age where things weren't scaring me, I guess, as much. But I can still say to this day that Sinister, and I know everyone says it's it's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. And then people started saying it about Hereditary. I can say that I think Sinister is still very scary and it holds up. All the different home videos and just the score and the music that they have over these videos and over the film makes it so eerie. Ethan Hawke is great as this mysterious author solving these crimes and bringing his family into all these really shitty situations and moving them from house to houses where the murders happened, and then involving himself and being involved in one of the stories as well and turning into another number. And then, of course, the late James Ransone, was in this as well, and he's great as Officer or Deputy so-and-so, and then he goes on to the second one to kind of be the main cast of that film, which I think is why I like that one a little bit too. But for the time of what it was, I feel like this was one of the scarier movies that a lot of people still like say, how do I explain this? If they didn't see it back then in 2012 when it first came out, I feel like a lot of people can start to see it now and be like, dang, this is really like, this could have came out now and I feel like it still would do well. Like have good reception if this came out like in today's day and age or whatever.
Yeah, again, this is kind of a little bit of a weaker year, I think. I'm kind
really?
of all it.
I think this is a good year.
Well, okay, so
the Woman in Black I like too, Seamus. I agree with you on that.
That one's underrated. I haven't watched it in a while. Maybe it's just because like I'm kind of like you. I think Sinister is one of the scariest movies ever made.
Mm-hmm.
It's still uneasy to watch. Those
still holds up.
Yeah, that eeriness, just him
the
watching the videos
alone.
in the dark. It's crazy. Scott Derrick, I think that was Derrickson's film
Scott
too.
Derrickson.
So it was pretty cool doing that. Seeing him work with Ethan Hawke so consistently shows that the performances continue to reign true, and he trusts him a lot. And it comes, I think, from that must have been the first time they worked together in Sinister. Maybe I'm missing something, but 2012 that seems around there.
I think it was too. Yeah.
I think it was his first movie with Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it does hold up. We're 14 years removed from it at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was a movie that I watched immediately. I think this was kind of like a little under the radar movie until like years later, and I was like, oh, what's this one? Okay, let's give it a shot. VHS, they're fun. At this point, I don't even remember what the first one is, like which ones were included, just because each VHS movie you get like 5 or 6
it's tough
different
to
ones.
Keep track of them. This one, if I remember correctly, this one had like the succubus episode, succubus.
The siren,
scene.
yeah, that's what I was going to say too, Seamus.
There's a few
in the
other
hotel
ones
room
in it that I'm kind of remembering, but
Same.
But like again, I'm not much of a. I mean, again, there are certain found footage films that work for me and certain ones that don't. VHS is one of those that actually do hit for me pretty well because they do a pretty good job of making you uneasy. It's hard to really like to scare me with some of those movies, but with that one, there was definitely some scarier moments. But Sinister, I think, is just, and like you said, maybe why I was so surprised that it came out in 2012 because maybe I didn't see it till a year or two later.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. Yeah. There you go.
Because I think that movie did kind of come out without a lot of fanfare, and then like I think I just because for before like I wouldn't go to a lot of movies at the theater because again like I'm just poor and moving out on my own and having a job and not making a ton of money. I couldn't really go to the movies at the time, but like I did buy a lot of Blu-ray, especially ones that were on sale. So by the time the movie went on sale, I was like, oh, okay, this looks actually kind of cool. I've never seen this before. And I picked it up, bought it, put it in. And I was like, oh,
like,
shit.
What the fuck did I just do?
And like, I think part of that comes from the snuff film style of it. Like a lot of those
that like Super
clips
8
are
footage.
very, the Super 8 stuff is very snuff film. And it's very like,
I love it.
Raw. And I think that's what makes it work so well. And like I said, they hit you right off the bat with it. Like it starts and you're like, oh, we're going right into it. Let's go.
Yeah. It feels like you're not supposed to be watching it. Like the whole
exactly.
time.
Yeah, it gives you that feeling of like, I shouldn't be watching this.
And what a cool character just to whip out too. Bagul, cool name, great little backstory, great imagery.
And I feel like that's the one good thing about this too. Like it doesn't go too much into one story. I feel like it kind of goes over the different murders and it goes over the different tapes really well. We go into Bagul, but not too much to where it like takes over the whole film. And honestly, the shots of that they do have of him, I feel like they don't really like reveal too much of him except for like the one shot where he's like the freeze frame on his computer screen and then he like moves when Ethan Hawke turns his back, or like the shot of him in the bottom of the pool. So you don't really like see him in his full like self or like entity until the end. But just all around a really, really good movie, man. I wish I could watch it again for the first time.
It's the classic Jaws mindset of don't show it all, because your mind creates scarier images than what we could actually present to you. So the unknown is what's scary. So don't show him, like just keep him in the background, keep him as like a static figure where you have to kind of on second glance catch him. It's very like Haunting a Hill House. There's so many moments in that film or that series that you don't notice the ghosts and figures in the background, and then every now and then you catch a new one and you're like, oh, whoa, and it's just like they're not even moving.
It's subtle, and that's the that's the whole point. Is it's supposed to be a subtle peripheral scare that gets you without calling a ton of attention to it, which is really cool.
So
I do like that.
I'm placing my vote for Sinister. Woman in Black. Is it Woman in Black? No, that's
the Woman in
one.
Black.
Okay, what's the new one that just came?
No, The Woman in the Yard is the new one. The
Woman in
Black
the Yard is
the
yeah.
Woman in Black was fine. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I like it.
You gotta watch it.
It's been a while. I don't know if I've
seen it.
I can't remember it completely, so I can't cast a vote or even give much insight on it. But yeah, I'm going Sinister.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Sinister too. I think it's pretty much a unanimous on this one. I feel like the first three are gonna be pretty unanimous.
Okay,
you'll see in a second why. But...
There's a couple. Yeah, there's just there's sometimes when you get a classic, it's like, all right, how do we vote it off?
But what's nice is like we're only 2 years in, and we've already seen how much of a renaissance horror had in the 2010s. Like it really did. I mean, it went from almost kind of dying off. It was really kind of on its last legs in mid 2000s, and then as we got into the 2010s, it was like, hey, guess what? This is still a genre that has some life if people know what they're doing. So with that, 2013, and you guys probably should know what's coming at this point. We have The Conjuring, which again, I could not believe Sinister came out before The Conjuring. I could have swore this movie came out first, but The Conjuring.
Isn't that funny? I always think that too. Go ahead, Seamus. Sorry.
There you go. The Purge, World War Z, and the Evil Dead remake. We lost Nick for a second, but I will...
We got him back. I thought he just changed his camera angle.
My camera did change, and I don't know if I switched to get it back.
No big deal. So sorry,
okay. Yeah.
Sorry, podcast listeners. Nick's video changed. If you're watching on YouTube,
bad camera, bad.
It's not the greatest side of him.
No,
we still got him though talking.
All right,
the other side.
Let's pick this up in just a second, okay? Alrighty, we're back from the technical difficulties. So we're in the year, was it 2013? 13? All right, want to go over those one more time?
I'll lead the movies off again. It's The Conjuring, The Purge, World War Z, and Evil Dead, the remake.
Who thought that Brad Pitt would be in our 25 best horror movies list?
Right? World War Z is a pretty good zombie movie. If you like zombie movies, not a bad zombie movie. It's a great book too. You haven't read the book.
Purge.
I mean, do we really want to spend too much time discussing this? Because I feel like we all kind of know where we're going. I think. I could be wrong.
I think you guys know where you're going. I think I'm going to be the oddball on this one.
All right, let me start this clock then.
Maybe. I could be wrong though too.
All right, Conjuring. Obviously, that's like a pick right there. Huge. It's not going to top World War Z for me.
No.
What was the final one?
The Evil Dead remake.
The Evil Dead remake.
It's not topping that. I like it. Not topping it. Purge is the only one that's interesting to me,
right? No,
because
God,
it's your boy Ethan Hawke is in this one too. He's back-to-back years.
This is one of my least favorite Ethan Hawke movies.
I'm pretty sure I hate the first Purge movie. But it opened the door for...
It's the best out of all of them, at least.
It is. It's like the only good one.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I don't want to see some rich, white, suburban family with the Purge. I want to see big cities. I want to see mass hysteria. I want to see, election year and anarchy. Like, I like those because the whole concept is such a brilliant thing.
It's a good concept.
It was
for a
cool
movie
until they made
for sure.
5 of them.
I didn't get bored with them because they were all different. Like it was,
they were different though. I'll give it that.
It's an annual thing, so each one's different. It's I kind of like that.
I think Nick's got a point with this particular one. I think The Purge kind of works as a franchise because there's so many stories you can tell. Like the overarching theme makes a lot of sense. Like, hey, we're gonna just give everybody one night to do whatever the fuck they want, no consequences, no laws, just do whatever you want. And it could have easily kind of been like, let's just do the same thing over again. Home invasion.
Yeah.
But they actually did like, hey, let's tell different stories from different parts of the country that like would have been going through this. The only one I haven't seen is the newest one, which is I think the Final Purge.
The
or
Final
whatever
Purge. I think I watched that one. I think
haven't-
they're all pretty enjoyable
I haven't
movies.
seen that one, but they are all really they're good movies. They're
fine.
good for what they are. They tell different stories. But the first one still to me is like it's still peak. It's still the best one out of all of them. But that's just my opinion. With that being said, I don't think anything tops The Conjuring. I think The Conjuring is probably like one of the best horror movies to come out in the last 25 years, like if not top 5, damn close.
Talk about another movie that kickstarts a franchise that, does make sense because they have so many cases to pull from, But so Jamie, I'm interested in what you were going to say because you said you might be the oddball out.
I think I am. I was going to go with the Evil Dead remake. I think it's one of the best remakes that has ever been made for a classic horror film like that.
I don't disagree with that.
It. Absolutely,
I think
love
it is one of the better remakes.
Mm-hmm. This might make me a absolutely terrible horror fan, but I saw this before I saw the original Evil Dead, and I saw the original Evil Dead not too long ago with Nick at the Enzia, and we got to see it on film, which was really cool too. And I absolutely fell in love with it. I can't believe I didn't watch it before. Really, really fun. So I could see why I like the remake so much, and I feel like it really pays homage to the original really well.
Yeah, I'd have to rewatch that one because I watch the originals way more often. I just think what made Evil Dead so fun, that first one, was just that very like bootstrappy blue collar feel. Like it felt very, these guys just went to this shitty little building in the middle of nowhere and made a movie.
Mm-hmm. There definitely is an air of Sam Raimi. Like Sam Raimi has such a style that if you try to mimic that, it doesn't work. And I think what they try to do with the Evil Dead remake is that they wanted to kind of like take it in a different direction, make it it still had its moments, but they wanted to be a little more serious with it. And I just don't think that works with that type of movie. I think Sam Raimi needs to have that off the wall, kilter type movie with really ridiculous gore, but at the same time ridiculous acting. And plus, let's be honest, Bruce, what the fuck is his name? Campbell is, he makes that movie what it is. In a lot of ways, like it wouldn't have been anywhere near what it was if it wasn't for him. And besides, Evil Dead 2 is the better movie.
Yeah.
Like Evil Dead is good and it's a classic, but Evil Dead 2 is the better version of that movie.
Yeah, and then Army of Darkness is just so fucking wild,
so fucking off the rocker. That was insane.
Don't shop smart, shop smart.
See, and everyone hypes up the second one in Army of Darkness so much. I'm like, now I'm looking forward to watching it because
you gotta watch Evil Dead.
Of those either.
You can easily skip because Evil Dead 2 is essentially just Evil Dead 1, just with a bigger budget. That's really all it is.
Okay.
It is the better version of Evil Dead, even though Evil Dead is like, if you're a completionist and you need to see a horror movie through its entirety, like you should watch it. But Evil Dead 2, if you're just looking to watch one of them, that would be the better one to watch. But I do agree with you. It is one of the better remakes, but I just feel like like Nick said, The Conjuring kick-started this whole renaissance of horror in general. James Wan just doing James Wan shit. You know what I mean? Plus, the nice thing about this one is that it didn't I feel like everything subsequent to The Conjuring kind of became like the Warren vehicle. Like it was just another Warren movie. Whereas The Conjuring, I felt like they were a part of it, but it wasn't just about the Warrens. It was about this family being tormented by these spirits or the spirit. And beyond that, I think because it was loosely based on a real story, it does give it an air of little like, oh, this actually could have happened. Like, in a certain way, maybe these people really were going through something. I mean, obviously it's also like, maybe they're just lying to make a buck, but I feel like this movie just kind of really changed and gave us a whole new generation of really good horror and really good horror filmmakers. So.
Where would horror be right now without James Wan?
I don't know if it would be anywhere near where it is.
Come on, man, give it up for him. I got dead silence on the background right now.
Him and Lee Winnell, with that Saw, and then that opened the door for them to kind of continue down this path. And there's so many classics that wouldn't have been made, nor would they have influenced where we are today. I mean, would Blumhouse be a thing without that kind of horror renaissance and Blum being able to I don't want to say not ride the coattails because he definitely did his own.
Oh yeah.
but like it opened the possibility of like, wait, horror movies are financially responsible movies to make now. We can make a decent one for anywhere from $5 to $10 million, make $100 million, and we're good.
Yeah, I do think Blumhouse still would have been a thing. I think Blumhouse, James Blum had found a way to, like you said, like we can make these movies for nothing and we're going to make a ton of money off of it. And not only does it not feel cheap in a lot of ways, it actually feels like they put a lot of effort into this. And it gives that, I mean, obviously this isn't really so much The Conjuring, but it does give some of those underrated, undernamed, low like actors that are just kind of getting into the world or haven't really been able to break into Hollywood yet, gives them a name and actually gives them a vehicle to show their talents. So I do think that
this was an interesting year because we spent the majority of the time talking about the supposed non-winners. But I mean, to polish it off, I mean, my vote's The Conjuring. It's a classic. It's so good. It's kind of like that Sinister route that it's still scary. It's, the classic, like the clapping, like was just.
Is that
like,
from the first Conjuring? I
yes,
get it
because
so
that was from the
confused with the
armoire.
second one. Gotcha.
And then you look up and the Bathsheba is on top of the dresser. She's like,
And is this the one where?
And it took place in a town that I kind of worked in for a while in Rhode Island.
Oh, really?
Her grave was there, the real life Bathsheba lady.
Oh yeah, I knew this actually.
Up in Rhode Island, like Woonsocket, I think it is.
Yes, I did know that actually. You know what? As much as I was gonna go with Evil Dead, well, we could give this one to The Conjuring. This year to The Conjuring.
Oh, right.
My choice would have been Evil Dead remake, but we can give it to
you can vote for it. It just won't win. It gives it a little extra second place pizzazz.
Okay, well, I vote for the Evil Dead remake. Then.
Okay, perfect.
I thought we had to make it unanimous. And I was like, well, if we must.
Oh no, we don't gotta make it unanimous.
It just has to be a majority.
Whatever wins.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, with 3, it's just a 2-1 wins.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
all right. So 2014. This is where it gets a little bit harder, I think, for some of us. Mm-hmm. So 2014, we have It Follows. Which again, the fact that this came out in 2014 blows my mind. It Follows. The Babadook, As Above, So Below, and Creep.
2014 was such a good year for horror movies.
It was a fire year for
horror.
This is a tough one. I know what Jamie's going to vote for.
Oh, it's so hard. This is some really good ones on here. I fucking love The Babadook. I love It Follows exponentially. I absolutely adore As Above, So Below. It might just be one of my favorite found footage movies. This is a toughie.
Yeah, and Creep's a fun indie. It's a fun indie. Plus,
Creep is a very
Mark
fun
Duplass
indie.
is a fucking
and I
psychopath.
love Mark Duplass. Yes,
I mean he's so good in
Peach
it.
Fuzz.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a tough year. I don't know.
This is a tough year.
Putting it together, I wasn't sure which one I would even go for. I still not even entirely sure. So, I mean, It Follows. I think there's not a lot to say. I mean, it's just a classic movie. It's one of those movies that still sticks with you even today. The way it was filmed, the way it was shot, that opening tracking scene was such a good shot. The theme, the idea of it, it's like, it's like an STT you can't get rid of. Only this time it's like literally going to kill you. There's no treating it. Like you have to pass it along. Plus, I love the idea that they filmed it kind of out of time in a lot of ways. This is one of the things I loved about this movie was that it felt like it could have been taking place in any time period over the last 30 years. Like everything kind of it felt like it was current, but then it felt like it was taking place in the 90s and it felt like it was taking place in the 80s. Yes. I loved that part of it. I thought that was a really, really genius way to shoot this movie. Plus the acting, again, from a bunch of really underrated, unknown actors at the time that, carried the movie. The Babadook, incredible. That movie completely, took me by surprise. I did not expect it to be as good as it was, and the movie still sticks with you. As Above, So Below, again, another found footage movie that I was really, really, really into. I thought that was a really great idea to explore. Like, you don't really see too many movies that take place outside of the U.S. that really kind of stick with you, and this one, I think, stuck with me pretty well. And then Creep is, it's creepy. It's a fun, creepy movie.
In the name.
So
I'm kind of torn between the two, the Babadook and As Above, So Below. I'm a sucker for found footage. That was one of the scarier, almost scariest.
Oh my God, it's
found
definitely
footage
scary.
movies.
It's so scary.
I am such a stan for Paranormal Activity, so I can't say scariest, but it's up there.
You're crazy.
It's unmatched. The Babadook was phenomenal, terrifying. It is that any movie that has like a really good creepy kid performance is like all time. Plus, it gave us one of the best memes of all time: the kid screaming in the back of the seat.
Why can't you just be normal?
Yeah. So that's a bonus right there. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I could be swayed. I think Jamie's going It Follows. I don't know where Seamus is going to go. I'm not the biggest It Follows fan. I am a hater. Jamie calls me a hater.
Yes,
I don't like it.
You know you're a hater.
The It Follows hater, unfortunately.
Don't like it. Not my thing. That's fine.
It's not everyone's cup of tea. You would think I wouldn't like it because it is a little slow, but I hate using this word, but I feel like It Follows kind of started, and I don't want to say it started that trend, but like now what people say, like elevated horror, I guess. I feel like it was such a different idea and storyline in the sense that when it first came out, because I'm pretty sure I saw It Follows in the movie theater when it came out because I thought it looked really cool, and everyone thought it was kind of silly, like, oh, you got to have sex and pass on the demon, he he he. But even you said, Seamus, the like cinematography and just the way this was shot and having it kind of interpret what time period this was in and kind of just like that fever dream aesthetic that it made you feel.
Did feel
and
kind of like a fever dream. Yeah.
And the score is absolutely phenomenal by Disaster Piece. He really doesn't do too much anymore, which is kind of sad, but they're supposedly working on the It Follows sequel finally after this long, and Micah Monroe says it's still in the works, so we'll see if they end up coming out with it probably in a couple years or so, but I think it's already in filming. But
and I think the cool thing about this, three of us, is that I think this movie may have hit us a little differently, hit you different than us, because you were a teenager when this came out.
Yeah.
And I was already an adult working, like, so it hit me differently.
I was in high school.
And you were in high school. So like, I think the fear is different. Like you fear it for certain reasons because like, you know, you're told as a kid growing up, like, you know, don't have unprotected sex. You're going to get sick and die. And like, obviously you should protect yourself, but it plays on that fear of not just like the literal idea of something you catch and can't get rid of, but it's also the idea that like, you know, there is just like the ever, I think to me, it's like part of like a passage of time type thing where it's like, you're constantly like you're trying to run away from the passage of time. I almost think of it kind of like in that sense too. And maybe that's just me interpreting it a different way, but I think the movie is just, it just worked. And I don't really consider this a slow burn because I think like from the get-go, you're introduced to what's going on. You don't kind of know, you're not really sure what's happening, but I mean, obviously like it starts and this person, like this girl is like, you know, I'm in trouble and no one knows why she's in trouble. And I do think that is a good way to set this up and kind of kick it off in a way that like now you're constantly being chased and there's like no time to like calm down or settle down.
And it's creepy. It's creepy too, the way they like explain it, saying like, oh, it could look like someone you know, it could be someone in a crowd, it could be any random person, whatever. I just always thought that was a weird idea. And I will say it, since we probably won't, I don't think we'll talk about this movie for when the year it came out, but I feel like It Follows greatly influenced Smile in the Smile movies when they came out.
100%.
Pretty much the exact same premise as freaking Smile, and everyone hyped up Smile for so long, but I feel like It Follows is finally getting its flowers, and I feel like a lot of people kind of give more credit to it now.
I can neither confirm nor deny that we're going to talk about Smile again.
Okay, I was just going to say I couldn't think of what, and
I'm sure we will.
If we do talk about Smile, I could make my comment about that later, but I don't hate the Smile movies either. I just like It Follows much, much better, and it's just
I do agree with Jamie that I think It Follows didn't get as much fanfare as Smile did for whatever reason. And I don't know if it's because Smile was a little more traditional horror, but like, I don't know.
I think it was just more widely distributed.
And it's
probably, like, I'm sure that's part of it.
I mentioned the sequel too, and it's like, as much as I would love a sequel because I love It Follows so much, I really don't feel like it needs one, but it does just end off so perfectly for one, with Jay and Paul holding hands and walking down the sidewalk, and in the foreground you could see the person walking behind them kind of, and I always loved it too because it's kind of like the original Halloween Michael Myers shot where he's like peeking from behind the bush and you can see him at that angle. Just, oh man, good movie. I gotta watch it again.
And I love that they actually found like a tall motherfucker to play that dude in the dorm room. Like, that's not digitally enhanced.
So creepy.
Like, he's like actually like 7-something feet tall.
Very creepy imagery with that too. Yeah. But to not harp on this so much, I'm probably going to have to choose It Follows, even though I really enjoy the Babadook. I also think it's super scary. the little kid Samuel is an absolutely fabulous child actor at the time. He's obviously older now, but wow, he was phenomenal. And you really felt bad for him and just his character arc throughout the whole film. And I think the mom's name was Amelia. She was absolutely fantastic too. And you could just feel her dread throughout the whole movie. And
I would never
depressed for her.
I would never smack a child, but I would have smacked Samuel.
That child.
Yeah, Samuel would have gotten kicked in the ass.
Yeah. So, Seamus, what are you voting for? I'm curious if
I'm gonna let you vote. I'm gonna let you vote because I think I'm gonna be the deciding vote.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just gonna go Babadook.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where I lean.
I hate to make you. I mean, I hate to do this to you, man. But I gotta go with Jamie. I gotta be It Follows.
God.
I think It Follows. It's just. I mean, I love the Babadook. I do like the Babadook, but It Follows, I think, just changed the game, kind of like The Conjuring did. I think like Jamie said, I think it kind of opened the door for a lot of different styles and things like, we can do certain things that are different that isn't the traditional.
Yeah, it did.
Way.
It did. I will say that it did add almost like a new subgenre of horror that maybe wasn't as prevalent at the time.
Liminal space horror. I feel like that's also why I'm into such like liminal spaces now. I feel like this movie very much encompasses that too. But I could talk about It Follows all day, so we can move on if we need to. Sorry.
All right. No, you're good. So 2015, moving to the next year. So It Follows takes 2014. 2015, we have The Witch, or in other words, The Witch. Crimson Peak,
Good
The
one too.
Invitation, which to me is still an incredible movie. It's I should point out The Invitation, not the weird one where the girl goes to England or whatever. This is the one where the gentleman is brought to a dinner party and it's not what you think, and it's that movie. And Krampus, our wonderful, loving Christmas horror movie.
Krampus, huh?
So I'll let you guys kind of go. I know what Nick's voting for, but I'll let you guys kind of duke it out, and then I'll come in with my vote.
Let me put this timer on. All right, so we got what was the first one?
We have The Witch, which we know it's not. You're not voting for that one.
Nope, hate that movie. Funny story about The Witch. All right, so me and my buddy Jimmy, we were, I think, either living together at the time or just hanging out. We went out to go buy a movie to watch. And anybody you talked to at that time was talking about how The Witch is the scariest movie of all time. And I think that might have been one of the taglines on the DVD. It's probably over there on my shelf somewhere. And we put it on, and it's a very slow burn. I didn't know exactly what to expect at the time, but we were about maybe 20, 30 minutes in. I was like, it would be really funny. What if there should be a movie that's like all suspense, all build up, and no payoff. And then we got that fucking shot of Black Phillip at the end, and I was like,
come on,
this is it?
You're crazy,
that's
dude.
It?
Which is crazy because I would think you would absolutely love this movie, Nick. I can't believe you don't like it.
Fuck The Witch. Fuck all that.
I really don't. It's like perfect New
Hate
England,
it.
like old timey movie, and I really thought you'd be into it.
Oh my God!
I think that's why I hate it even more because I should like it.
Oh my God! I love The Witch.
It had everything teed up for it for me, and I just couldn't. It made me infuriated. I was so mad.
Actually mad. Like he's actually angry.
I hated this movie so much.
Movie's 11 years old and he still hates it.
As far away from the top 3 as I could possibly put it.
The day we're recording this today is actually the anniversary of The Witch too.
Yeah.
A24
Good. Happy anniversary.
Today.
I hope nobody watches you ever again. No.
I just watched it like a few weeks ago.
An hour. I
gotta watch it too, Seamus. It's been a
cool.
while.
You can watch it by yourself.
But you like The Lighthouse? Is just so crazy. Go ahead, though.
I do like The Lighthouse.
I can neither confirm nor deny we're going to talk about The Lighthouse at some point too.
It's a little bit different. I enjoy it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, so Witch, gone for me.
Crimson
Peak.
Crimson Peak. Really good. Okay, I haven't watched that one in a while, which shows that I'm not too attached to it. The Invitation, I really enjoyed. This was the house dinner party, right? Not the island one. That's the menu. I think. Yeah.
Yep.
The Invitation, that was really creepy. That had a lot of like silent, if I'm remembering it correctly, like a lot of silent, like uneasiness to it.
Yeah, that movie, like I felt like I couldn't sit still.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that, and the funny thing is like, not to move my camera, but where is it? I love that movie.
It's up there. Oh, top. Yeah, with the little blind glass. Yeah.
That movie, if you're looking for something kind of like The Strangers in the sense that like you can't calm down. Like, you can't watch it and like have a moment of relief. Like, that movie, you're constantly on edge. You have that feeling in the pit of your stomach at like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Like, something's going to happen. Something bad is going to happen. And the way they set it up too is really, really good. Like you don't like that first jump scare. No one sees that coming.
Yeah.
When they're driving to the damn party and that jump scare hits you, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay, hold on a minute.
I don't know
And
if I've seen The Invitation.
And that from that moment on, you're just like, God damn, like I can't calm down. And like, I can't settle down. Like, this movie is like it's not, I don't think it's straight horror. It's more suspense.
It's not scary. It's just uneasy.
But it's just, and that for me, that's why I love these types of movies. That or The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which is an incredible movie if you haven't seen it. Not on this list, but like again, it's that idea of like it's not straight horror and more super uncomfortable. Like, this is shit that could happen to you in real life if you run across the wrong people. The ending's a little ambiguous, but to me, it's like, again, one of my probably my top 15, top 10 movies of all time. I love this movie.
And then there's Krampus, which
Krampus.
we did that for our first Spookeasy. Those will be coming back at some point. But if you want to hear all of my thoughts or most of my thoughts, go watch that video. It's a classic. It's an all-time classic. It plays every single year in this household. It will never not be played.
We love Krampus.
I really don't need to say much about it. Great creature design, fun cast, blends comedy and horror perfectly. Ends on a really uneasy note. It's unsettling. You don't know what is real and what is not. So that's what I have to say for those four. But Jamie, where's your head at then?
Well, I obviously love Krampus as well. Like you said, we did that one for one of our Spookeasy videos. You could hear about how much I loved it and loved the score and the film design of that one. Crimson Peak, I feel like, is very underrated. I feel like it's a very good kind of gothic noir ghost story for its time when it came out. And this is with Tom Hiddleston, if I'm not mistaken. The guy who plays Loki, is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's Loki.
Yeah, okay. Good. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I feel like this was one of the first roles I really saw him in because I was never been into Marvel movies until I had met Nick and he had got me into them, so I always thought he was a great actor. I haven't seen Crimson Peak in a little while, but I do remember it not being super scary, but being very... It kind of reminds me of The Woman in Black. I feel like those films I categorize them together as being that
it's
kind of gothic horror, which
like
I like.
New
Which I
Age
guess
gothic horror, yeah.
Yeah, which I enjoy to an extent. And then what was the other one? The Witch. It's The Witch's Biggest Hater, which kind of sucks.
Crimson Peak, Invitation.
I really like
Yep.
The Invitation and Krampus. I like The Witch as well. Probably out of these four, though, like I said, I don't think I've seen The Invitation. I like The Witch, but my love for Krampus would definitely triumph over The Witch, so I'm going to have to go with Krampus. My favorite Christmas horror movie.
Seamus, where are you leaning? Are you going Invitation?
So, I mean,
Curious.
I'm assuming you
I gotta
voted
watch
Krampus.
this now.
Yeah. You voted Krampus, right?
I don't know yet. We'll see.
You haven't decided?
I don't know. We'll
All right.
see.
I started.
Are you voting?
I think I got to give it to The Invitation. It's such a underrated movie that, like, it's one of those ones where it's like, anytime anybody asks me, it's like, oh, you're the horror guy, right? You're the scary guy. Like, what do you think I should watch? I always bring up, have you seen The Invitation yet? And no, not the weird English vampire zombie, whatever the fuck that movie was. Watch the one from 2015. It's got David Howard Green, I think is his name. He's kind of like I forget who, he looks exactly like another, he's the Tom Hardy clone. He's the dude that looks like Tom Hardy, but he isn't Tom Hardy. David Howard Green, I think is his name, or if not David Howard Green, I forget his name exactly, but
Logan Marshall Green. I just looked
Logan Marshall Green. I knew it was something
because I'm
like
trying to see the movie cover.
Yeah, so it has a lot of like underrated, again, a lot of actors that were kind of unknown indie at the time, and this is in and of itself is very much an indie movie. But again, if it's a movie that sticks with me and I remember like scene for scene, remember watching this movie and I remember where I was when I watched this movie, then I know it was a good movie and it stuck with me. And this movie just, again, it's one of the ones that I recommend to everyone, even if you're not a horror fan. If you're just looking for something interesting and suspenseful to watch, check this movie out. It is really, really good. It's got the guy from Haunting a Hill House in it.
I was just looking
the one who
at
plays
that.
the older brother. The author from that, he's one of the main characters in it, one of the without giving too much away, he's one of maybe the bad guys, but it is good. You gotta if you haven't watched it yet, your homework is to go watch this movie at least once and then tell me why I'm an idiot and you think it's trash, or you're gonna say, oh my god, you are so right, this movie is incredible. But yeah, I think I got it. I mean, as much as I like The Witch, and I know I kind of play it up to a little bit to to troll Nick, but I gotta go with The Invitation. This movie is so good.
I'm gonna vote Krampus, but The Invitation is pretty damn close. It's just a different kind of horror. Like we kind of spent a little bit vamping about how it's not necessarily scary, but it's uneasy and it just makes you feel fucking terrified. Like it does a really good job of putting you into the movie, and kind of rooting for, stuff to go your way. So I'm really happy you put it, because hopefully this is a movie that maybe more people will tune into, because I do think this is sometimes a forgotten horror movie. And it's kind of a little, like you talked about with It Follows. It's gotten a resurgence now, but it definitely flew under the radar for a long time. And The Invitation falls into that category as well, where it's like, okay, people should pick this one up a little bit more often than they do.
I agree. So Krampus is the winner for 2015.
Wow, Krampus.
All right, so 2016, we have the movie Split. We have Terrifier. We have Hush, which is again a really low, underrated slasher / home invasion movie, and The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
All right, why don't you kick us off? I'm curious where you're at on these four.
Yeah, so Split, again, the best of that trilogy. One of the few Shyamalan movies that I'm like pleasantly will watch more than once. Not just because like it goes beyond just, I forget, and I'm already forgetting the other movies in this. Like, is it a trilogy? Was it a trilogy?
So it goes into Glass after this.
It's right, yeah.
But that plays off of, at the end of Split, it's revealed that this is taking place in the Unbreakable world.
Unbreakable, that's what it was.
So Unbreakable kind of kickstarted it in 2000. And then Split at the very end, it doesn't touch on it at all until the end. And you're like, oh my fucking God, that's Bruce Willis. Oh my God.
Right.
And then they did Glass with Samuel Jackson and bringing all three of them together.
All of them together. I think this movie is very much carried by
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. Jesus. I'm sorry, I'm old, everybody. I don't remember names like I used to.
That's why there's three of us here. Somebody always knows the other one.
So James McAvoy, obviously, he carries that movie. He is the reason to see that movie, and he's terrifying, especially when he becomes the Beast. Like, at that point, you're like, oh shit, this movie took a hard left turn. I adore this movie. I think it's really good. Plus, it was one of the first. I think it was one of
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Anna Taylor-Joy's. I mean, obviously she was in The Witch, but then she followed that up with Split, and I don't think she gets as much credit for this movie, because I think she does a really good job in this movie as well.
Or Anya Taylor-Joy, whatever.
Anya Taylor-Joy, yeah. Terrifier. I mean, what can be said? It's Terrifier. Obviously not the first Art the Clown, but the best Art the Clown, obviously. I don't think there's much you can say about that. Plus, it's the best Terrifier movie out of the three of them. I don't care. Fight me on that as much as you
want.
Guest
of the podcast.
It is. Of course, guest. Listens to us all the time. Yeah,
big fan.
But it's still, to me, the best Terrifier movie out of the three. Hush is, again, I've said it before, like I said in the beginning, it is a really underrated home invasion movie with a twist. Like, it's not just the standards,
Hush
The Strangers. It is a really, really good movie. I love the idea that the main character is deaf, so she can't hear what's going on. So the whole time, you as the audience know what's happening, and you're like, and you're like kind of the edge of your seat, worried for her, but she doesn't know what's going on because she can't hear what's happening. I think it's a crazy good movie. Another one that you really have to see if you haven't seen it before. And then The Autopsy of Jane Doe, another one where it's like, I feel like doesn't get as much props. I mean, if we talk about things like The Exorcism of Emily Rose, we talk about The Conjuring, we talk about Insidious, we talk about Sinister, a lot of these movies that are kind of like the epitome of 2010s horror, The Autopsy of Jane Doe really should be talked about in that pantheon of movies, and it's not, and I feel kind of like it should be. This is one of those movies that like kind of came out of nowhere. I had never really heard of it until I think I saw it and I bought it on Blu-ray. Another one of those I bought on sale at Blu-ray, and I put it on, I watched it, and I was immediately taken in and enthralled by it. It's a really, really good movie. It's a really good twist, a really good story that isn't like your typical like, oh, we've seen this a million times. It is definitely another one that I think you need to check out. So for me, this year was tough. I really don't know which way I want to go. I think I'm going to put my vote towards The Autopsy of Jane Doe, but I kind of want to see where you guys go. I know I was worried that if I put Terrifier in here that it would just be a quick, like everybody would vote Terrifier, but I am interested to see kind of where you guys go with this.
I feel like we're going to have a very split vote on this
That's what I'm thinking too.
So Jamie, why don't you go while I try to figure out exactly where my mind is at?
Yeah, so it's funny that you mentioned The Autopsy of Jane Doe because I feel like I always see it on streaming services, whether it be Tubi or whatever I'm scrolling through, and I've never taken the time to watch it, but I have on the copious amount of times that I spend on my phone. I've seen clips from it, like reels or YouTube shorts and stuff like that, and it does look really interesting. I have been meaning to watch it. Hush is the one, what's her name? She's also in Hill House and Bly Manor.
Yeah, I forget her name, but
Mike
she does do
Flanagan's
quite
wife,
a bit of
Katie Siegel. There you go, or Kate Siegel. I'm sorry.
Yes,
yeah, I think so. But
yes,
that's also a really good
Katie
movie.
Siegel.
Very suspenseful. Yeah, very suspenseful building movie. Had me on the edge the whole time. I'd seen it once or twice, I think, and I feel like it made me so uneasy that I couldn't really focus to watch it, but I did like it. Terrifier, I mean, obviously, Seamus, I think I'm with you. As much as I like the second and third one, I really, really like the original first Terrifier. I feel like it's very grungy, it's very dark, it's very, very Art the Clown, and I feel like that's such a great introduction to him, and just to see the character that he's now become and how big he's become from these other movies, it's just pretty crazy. And then, what is the other one that I'm missing? I'm sorry.
A Split. With James McAvoy, who plays the guy with all the split personalities.
Yes, I haven't seen Split in a long, long time. But honestly, I feel like this one was kind of easy for me. Everyone knows I'm a Terrifier fan, and I'm not picking that just because I enjoy the Terrifier movies, which I do. But I feel like put up with these other movies, I feel like I would have to go with Terrifier, just for my taste, personally.
I think she kind of cut out a little bit, but I
did it?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're fine.
Did it cut back in?
Okay, so I'm kind of, you're here. Yep, you're here. So I'm kind of stuck in between a couple different places. Terrifier, I enjoy. Obviously, created a huge franchise. I think the first one's, I still think the second one's the best. But the first one's nice because it's clean and short. It's not fucking 2.5 hours, which is kind of what a slasher should be. Just kind of in and out, simple, whatever. Autopsy of Jane Doe, I enjoy it. It's been a while. There's not something that I can say I super love about it off the top of my head. Hush is the closest, just because of that. Again, I feel like a lot of the movies that we talked about so far in this decade or decade and a half, it's been a little less scary but more uneasy. Kind of like with The Invitation and even It Follows. It's not necessarily like in your face scary. It's very like just the edge of your seat, like rooting.
Right. Relies less on jump scares and more on atmosphere.
I love Split. This is one of my favorite Shyamalan movies. It's up there. I mean, when you go through his filmography, it is for as many misses and as much flack as he gets for being the twist guy. It's kind of undeniable. There's a reason why he gets whatever movie he wants greenlit. He was coming off of a bunch of stinkers, so I think that helps Split a little bit more for me because we're coming off of like The Happening, Lady in the Water, Last Airbender, and then I think he did After Earth was after that, and then we got to Split. I think there was another one in there. I think he did The Visit before Split, but you're talking Unbreakable, Signs, Sixth Sense. Underrated, but this is one of my favorites, is The Village. Surprised that didn't win 2004 for us. But Split was just a kind of finally Shyamalan coming back into his own. This was such a genius idea. McAvoy, like you said, he carried this on his shoulders because he didn't play one character. He split personality. He had so many different personas and character changes and tonal choices for each character. It is one of my favorites. So I'm I'm going Split, and I think we're at a 3-way tie right now.
Yeah, I'll make this easy on you. As much as I love Autopsy of Jane Doe, I agree with you, Nick. I think Split is my favorite Shyamalan movie, and I don't think it's close. I don't think there's another one he's done that I can say is let me tell you a secret. I hate Signs.
I hate Signs. Oh,
hate
God.
that fucking movie.
Oh, I love it so
How
much.
the fuck you come to a planet that's 70% water, you're allergic to water, and then you go, oh shit, hey, guess what? We're dead immediately. Fuck that movie. I sorry, Doug, you are the witch. I hate Signs.
No one said they were smart.
I hate Signs. Hate that movie. But Split is incredible. I mean, and McAvoy sells it. I mean, that dude. I think I was watching a few interviews and a few about the movie and how like people with split personality or with whatever you call it said that he did a really, really good job of personifying what it's like to go through that. And plus he's playing all these different characters throughout the movie and he's doing them all convincingly. So I think you've convinced me. I think I could easily give my vote to Split. As much as I do like Autopsy of Jane Doe. Even if we didn't have the other two in that Split series, I think Split by itself stands alone.
Yeah, I think like Unbreakable, I think is amazing. I think Glass was fun, but Split, it's nice because they're not really dependent upon each other.
Right.
You know, you don't need to see Unbreakable to watch Split. It's a standalone movie. Glass, if you want to make sense of Glass, you'll need to see the other two, but Unbreakable and Split are kind of two completely different things.
Right. I agree. All right. So we're not quite halfway through it, but we're getting close. So 2017, we have Get Out, we have It Part 1, Happy Death Day, and It Comes at Night.
This is a tough one.
Yeah. This is a hard year.
Let me pull up the clock. Let's get this started. So, all right. It Part 1. So I'm so bad at like remembering these things.
So we've got sorry, we have Get Out.
Get Out. Okay,
Jordan Peele's first one.
Yeah.
We have It Part 1, Happy Death Day, and It Comes at Night.
All right. I think it should get more credit than it does, but I'm gonna immediately take It Comes at Night off the board.
Okay. It's a good movie.
I don't think
it's a great movie.
I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think that this is pretty top heavy.
Yeah. I would agree.
Happy Death Day is so fun. I do love it. I don't think you can put it in the conversation with the other two just yet. It's just such a different style of movie, right? It is classic Blumhouse comedy horror.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't say it's Blumhouse's first hit, but it's definitely one of their first big hits. I think one of the ones that kind of like got them, hey, these guys are for real. There's something special here that they're doing. And Blumhouse is probably the best at blending both comedy and horror together without it feeling goofy or kitschy. I feel like a lot of horror comedies struggle with that, where it's like it's too heavy on the comedy. Blumhouse is always really good at like blending the two without overdoing it.
Yeah, and they do such a good job at, and it sounds bad, but stealing other movies and turning them into horror.
Right.
This is very obviously just Groundhog's Day horror.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Totally Killer was just Back to the Future horror. Megan was just kind of a re-zhuzhed up version of Chucky. Like, it's just, I get it, but it does their thing. But it's fun. But I think it really comes down to It Chapter 1 and Get Out. And those are all-timers in my book. Completely different movies, too. So it's kind of hard to compare them. I would say for me, even though, how do I say
it's not hard for me. I already have my vote, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think me and you are aligned in the vote. I think because of Get Out's complete originality and catching you off guard. Like, oh, fuck, the guy from Key and Peele just made a horror movie? Like,
right.
What? Like, it is tonally completely different than the It series.
100%.
Obviously more similar to the book. So it did make changes, but it was derived from a piece of work already. Not that I'm always going to hold that against something, but when I'm kind of trying to compare the two, Get Out and it does fall. I think It is more in your face scary. It's that jump scary. It is nice that 80s nostalgia is fun, but Get Out, man, is just was so, again, with these uneasy movies. It doesn't,
Yeah.
it's again not scary, but it makes you feel like your skin is crawling.
Right. And to me, like Get Out seems like a movie that is something that like Stephen King would have written 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But obviously, it definitely, it's more of a, this is our story, and this is, what we are going to tell. This is what we're going to tell. And it's just, it again, like you said, like Jordan Peele, like who was like waiting for him to make, one of the best horror movies of all time. Like,
yeah, and go on a run.
Right. And it was incredible. I mean, but wasn't the big thing? It was like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes for like the first like month and a half that it was out, until somebody decided to give it a bad rating.
Yeah, just like this is the same person that I think gave a bad rating to Toy Story 3 or something.
Right, exactly. So like this movie is obviously it's the closest thing to a perfect horror movie. It has the right amount of twists, the right amount of comedy, the right amount of levity, at the same time, really kind of taking you through a story. And again, another movie where you've got some established actors that you've seen before, but then you've got a whole bunch of actors you've never heard of before, and they just carry they just carry it. I mean, friggin' Daniel Kaluuya wasn't known for anything. He was in that one Black Mirror episode that I think that's what I recognized him from. I was like, oh, he was in that Black Mirror episode. And then he was in this, and he just completely kicks ass in this movie. Just like carries this movie himself. And then, of course, the family's incredible. They're all really, really good.
Catherine Keener's
in it, right? Yep, Bradley Whitford. That's what I'm saying. Like, you've got, and that's the beauty of like of movies these days. It's that like you have one or two bigger name actors that you recognize, and then you've got a whole bunch of unknowns who carry the damn thing. Yeah, Get Out is just it should be harder for me, but it's not. This movie wins in a landslide.
Yeah. So Jamie, the 4 for this one, where are you going? It's between Get Out, It Chapter 1, Happy Death Day, and then what was the final?
It Comes at Night.
It Comes at Night.
Well, can you guys hear me all right, or is it a little laggy?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Okay,
yeah, you're
perfect.
Good.
Well, it's definitely not going to be Happy Death Day. I could tell you that. It Comes at Night. I am not sure I've seen. Call me a terrible movie watcher, but I don't think I've seen It Comes at Night. If I have, there's also a lot of handful of times where I say I've never seen something, and then I, sure enough, have seen it. So I think it would also come down to me.
I think we have watched it together. I think the poster is like the wolf, and it says It Comes at Night.
But it's another one of those that's like low key, came out out of nowhere. You've only seen it once, and you're like, that was good.
Once I started up, I'd be able to tell if I watched it. But I think it would, and I mean, I'll be the biggest hater here, but I am not a very big fan of Get Out at all. I've watched it maybe once or twice. I've never had the desire to go back to it. I didn't think it was very memorable for me. It's one of my least.
You're gonna get crushed in the comments.
It's one of my. I know I'm gonna get crushed in the comments. I can't believe people. It's on like the 100
again.
best.
See what happens.
Top.
See what happens. You talk bad about Get Out, and you get frozen.
You guys have been freezing the whole time too, but it's okay. Can you guys hear me now or no?
I don't know if she's back or not. She's kind of here. She's been going in and out.
It's definitely recording her. So whatever she's saying, we just can't hear it.
Yeah. So we'll see. I guess we'll hear her thoughts on the back end. But it doesn't seem like she's going Get Out.
It
doesn't seem like she's going It Comes at Night. And she's definitely not going Happy Death Day. So I can only assume she's going to go with It Chapter 1.
Right.
That's the assumption I'm going off of. But majority rules. I cast my vote for Get Out. Seamus, I'm assuming that's where you're going.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, I'm going Get Out for sure. Yeah, I mean, I get that it's not for everybody, but for me, it still carries itself wonderfully. It's a movie that I go back to all the time. And it's just again, if it's something you haven't seen, like I don't know what you're doing. Like you need to at least give this movie a chance. It's Jordan Peele's best movie. I mean, obviously, Us has its moments. And Nope was okay. It was a little weird. Wasn't my favorite, but I get it. But Get Out is his best movie easily.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Jamie, back.
Yeah, we'll see how long with my shit laptop. Unfortunately.
So I cast your vote on your behalf. I was only assuming you're going It Chapter 1.
I am. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 2018.
I guess I won't go into my
about...
deep dive about how much I don't like Get Out.
Well, I think
you're,
it picked
you're
up on
good.
the recording. We just didn't hear it.
Okay.
So we'll move on to the next year.
Yeah, it definitely recorded it. I'm sure we were just talking over you.
It's okay.
So 2018, we have A Quiet Place, Hereditary, Halloween 2018, and Annihilation.
All right, let's start the clock here. I know you're going to have thoughts. I'll let you get them out.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, again, for another one that I think another tough year for me. I don't think this is an easy pick. A Quiet Place, another movie made by a comedian that you didn't expect. John Krasinski comes out of nowhere and makes, again, one of the better horror movies of the 2010s. Potentially one of the best movies of the 2010s, depending on who you ask. Hereditary is Ari Aster at his best. That movie is incredible. I love Hereditary. Again, the acting in it is top notch. Toni Collette is someone who just pulls everything out, and she's just the queen of 2000s horror. I don't know where she came from. I don't know what she did prior, but I mean, everything she's been in, I've seen. She's just incredible. That woman deserves awards that she doesn't get for half the performances she has. But she's incredible in this movie. Halloween 2018. I am weird with this one. I like it. I like the first one. I think another one that was made by a comedian, right? Like, isn't like this Danny McBride
was a lot. I think he wrote it.
And what's his face there is his partner there who directed it. Another one where it's just like, where are these dudes are broken. These dudes are messed up to make these types of movies. But Halloween 2018, I have a weird relationship with it because I love the original Halloween, as we all know. I do like that this is kind of like a direct sequel to the first one. It kind of takes everything from everything after the first movie and kind of wipes it clean. They've done that more than once.
It's like Halloween, the fifth timeline.
Yeah, it was like Halloween H2O did the same thing. So this does it better than the others, but I can't say that like I go back to these newer ones often, as much as I probably should. And then Annihilation is another underrated movie that I feel like if you haven't seen, you got to give it a chance at least once. It's a really solid sci-fi / horror movie that, kind of came out of nowhere, has some pretty solid actors in it. You've got Oscar Isaac's in it. You've got
Natalie
Portman. Jesus, fuck yeah, Natalie Portman.
Tessa Thompson.
I mean, it's a really, really, really solid movie. And that if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. But I think for me, it comes down to 2 out of the 4, even though they all could justifiably be given a vote. And for me, it's either A Quiet Place or Hereditary. And I think for me, between the 2 of those, Hereditary is just exactly what I'm looking for in a horror movie. And again, I think Ari Aster's a genius. I don't use that term lightly. I think he's one of the best working directors we have as of right now. I think he's got a really unique style, a really unique way of filming his movies, and they're all different. Like a lot of what he does, it's not like he doesn't have one set style that kind of sticks with every movie. This movie, I loved the miniature idea. How it felt like you were watching a miniature, and as his transitions and the way his shots were, this movie is incredible. So I really do think I got to go Hereditary here. I know that not everybody shares my opinion, but I do love this movie.
Yeah, I don't hate Hereditary. That falls in those like categories of like that new age horror that I think I gravitate not completely towards, but I can enjoy them still. I think Annihilation's fun, but I'm not the biggest sci-fi kind of person, so that for me is off the board. Halloween 2018 is, I think, undeniably the best Halloween sequel, like sequel to Halloween. I think it beats 2 and it beats H2O.
Yeah.
I thought it was very smart the way they brought it back, and we're like, all right, you know what, just fuck those other 10 movies. Like, we're just gonna jump back in, and he's been in prison this whole time. They're not brother sister, it's all that. But it brought the violence back of Mikey. It made him that big brute that Rob Zombie sort of tried to do, but it kind of meshed a lot of Halloween together in one, which I think was perfect. I mean, we're talking, this is a Scream Queen off right here between New Age Toni Collette and then Jamie Lee Curtis still kind of throwing her fucking name in the ring there.
I forget she was in that, and I'm like, oh shit, she was in that too. Jesus.
Yeah. Yep. And then Quiet Place, which could go down as possibly one of the best creature features. Oh, the timer scares me every time. Brilliant. What a heartbreaking story. Still just the image of John Krasinski and the fucking little space shuttle toy that the kid kept playing with. What an awkward movie, though, to watch in movie theaters. You could hear people crunching on their popcorn. Like, it was just, it was so silent, and it just was a very, not an uneasy movie, but it was also just an uneasy viewing experience. Because you're like, oh, I don't want to move in my seat. I don't want to take a sip of soda. I don't want to do like anything to make any noise, because it stands out because of everyone just being so in tune with the movie. And it was a fun way to kind of branch into kind of almost experimental horror, where it was almost like an experience that you had to participate in, and you weren't sure, depending on what crowd you're with, if it was gonna work that way or not. Because if you're in a crowd where people are talking, it doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, it's a hard gimmick to make work in a theater. The whole silence thing, like, it just doesn't work often.
No,
and
it doesn't work in a haunted house. That's for sure.
Oh, that's for damn sure. Yeah. So that was, again, I'm glad you bring that up, because it's one of the things that like if I'm going to a movie theater, I want a decent experience, and I know that a lot of people like laughter is their defense mechanism, but that's hard to do when you're like expecting the theater to stay silent.
So this is a tough year for me. So Jamie, what are your thoughts on these four?
Excuse
Your
me,
boy Mikey's in the ring.
I had to yawn for a second. Yeah, my boy Mikey's going to take the cake on this one, because Seamus might be Sign's #1 hater, and I am A Quiet Place's #1 hater. Absolutely hate this movie. Can't stand it. I can't believe you guys hype it up this much, but I guess we could all agree that we didn't like the house, so that's okay with me. Hereditary, another one. I do like Hereditary. I enjoy it. I love Toni Collette. I love Alex Wolff. He's good in this too. He's great in this, actually. But unfortunately, this has now been one of those movies that's been dubbed the scariest horror movie of all time, and I don't think I can agree with that, unfortunately, so it won't be Hereditary for me. Annihilation was the other one. I don't think I've seen or heard of Annihilation, unfortunately, so I haven't seen that. So I think I cut out and you guys probably can't hear me, but I'm going to have to go with the Halloween 2018. I think it's one of the best sequels to the original as well, and probably has one of the best scores compared to the original also.
Yeah, it's really John Carpenter's score. So, I mean...
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much you guys could hear me, but hopefully you could, because I was really on a roll there.
We'll find out on the back end. But I'm really torn. I think Halloween. I think because it was obviously part of a long-standing franchise, I feel like I hold it against it. I feel like I'm trying to pick originals, like, for these, like, each year, like, to define that era of, like, something new and special. I think it did about as much as it could. I feel like I'm kind of between A Quiet Place right now, though, and I didn't like Hereditary enough to vote for it.
I know you didn't.
No, I've grown more appreciative of it, but I can't put it above Quiet Place. So what are you voting for, Seamus? You voted for Hereditary?
Oh, it's Hereditary. That's the problem. So now we're kind of in a situation where we have to, like, someone has to convince someone else to change their vote.
Okay, I can concede to Halloween. That's where I'm allowing myself to concede to. I loved A Quiet Place. I thought it was terrifying. I think it's just such a brilliant, fun way to attack a movie. But 2018 Halloween was a real nice renaissance, and I wish it opened the door for better sequels to come back for, like, Nightmare and Friday. I mean, maybe it did for Candyman. I think this came out before the Candyman remake.
It did.
So I maybe it did open the door for older stuff to get brushed off and kind of brought to today's standards of horror. So I'll go with Halloween. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely it gave Mikey a new lease on life. Even if I wasn't a huge fan of the subsequent sequels, at least Halloween 2018 was still a solid return to form.
Yeah, the other two are, I think, fine. I think 2018 was really,
I hated
really
the last
good.
one. The last one was such a disappointment for me.
That was weird. Halloween Ends. It was it was a little bizarre.
All right, so 2019, my first full year in Florida. 2018, I moved in the summertime. So 2019, we have another Ari Aster vehicle. It's Somar, which we know Nick loves so much.
So good.
The Lighthouse, which again came out in 2019, completely
That's weird. Okay.
blew my mind. Ready or Not, which is another really good underrated movie, and then Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Ready or Not. Yeah, I forgot that came out in 2019 as well. That was
that was the one with
that?
like the families, like the big
Samara Weaving. That's who it was.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and then like the family like has to do like a game. And
it's like hide and seek essentially.
Yeah, it's essentially hide and seek. Yeah.
All right, well, let's start this 5-minute timer. That means absolutely nothing. Okay, who wants to kickstart us on this one?
I've still never watched Midsommar, and I don't.
Oh my god!
And I do not have any desire to, unfortunately. Way too hyped up. Everyone hypes it up. It's so obscure. Ari Aster's so amazing. He's so cool, and you could sit there for 2.5 hours and watch all his awesome movies. And it's funny because we definitely have Midsommar here on DVD. I have it on tape that my friend gave to me.
I have it on Blu-ray.
And I've still never seen it. And don't have any.
I have it on Blu-ray right over there.
That is Jamie. I mean, you and I usually you and I are like,
I know, Seamus.
Like this on these movies.
I'm the odd man out usually.
I know.
You're killing me.
I take it back. I said I don't like A Quiet Place. And you know what? Everyone's going to come for me in the comments too. How you going to hate on a movie when you never friggin' see it? Well, you guys have pretty much told me over that as soon as when the movie friggin' came out, everyone already knew what the whole movie was about. I knew the whole entire thing. But I do love Florence Pugh, so I'll give her that. And from the cinematography that I've seen.
She's heartbreaking in that movie.
The cinematography I've seen and the score that I've heard from it, I feel like I would really enjoy it, but I'm just...
You need to watch it. Just give it a chance.
I'm terribly stubborn, and I can't convince myself to sit for almost 3 hours. It's tough for me.
You got to give it a shot. I get it. I understand where you're coming from.
We're back in. Okay, we're back in. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a long one. That's
we're having technical difficulties tonight. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, all right. So, all right, Midsommar. Not a big fan.
Not a big fan. That's
not a big
playing
fan.
It lightly.
You know, the Ari Aster's movies grow on me more than who was the guy that does the Witch? That's not Aster.
Robert
that's
Eggers.
You're Robert Eggers.
Eggers, yeah. His stuff is very dry. Ari Aster has, for me at least, like the visual appeals. Like I would more gravitate towards Aster than Eggers, just because it's got a little bit more oomph to it. I don't love it. I think the length kills it a little bit. The visuals are amazing. The acting is always amazing. I do think that his stories get stretched a little too much. I think if you cut 25 minutes off of his films, you got pretty good stuff there. I don't need to see a elderly gangbang like in the
That's what I'm saying.
Midsommar.
Well, it wasn't a gangbang first.
Okay, well they were just watching
old
him.
People getting smashed getting smashed by boulders and just very, very odd things.
Ready or Not, I think it's fun. I don't know if it can compete with this though. So what are the so Midsommar, Ready or Not?
Yeah, Midsommar, The Lighthouse, Ready or Not,
Lighthouse.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Lighthouse. Okay, I do like The Lighthouse. I like that nautical theme. It feels like a play because it is very that one setting.
It is.
It is just Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson throwing 100 miles an hour the whole night, eating beans and farting.
But holding their own too. Like
I
mean, you see, like Pattinson he's a hell of an actor, and to go up against Dafoe one-on-one, I mean that's not an easy task. And the two of them just go boom, 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 and it is a really, really good movie. I love that it's shot in 4:3. And you're right, Eggers is he can be kind of a tough guy to get into because he's very detailed and everything has to be like period correct. So everything he does, like that's why I know for a fact you hate The Witch because of the way it's the way the dialogue is, that it's all Old English, it's all super early colonial period, so it's kind of hard to understand what they're saying. It's kind of that way with this, especially Defoe's character, who's just kind of like off his fucking rocker, and he's just
mumbling and
and stumbling and bumbling, and he's talking in that really old, I don't even know the era, like mid 1800s, like that American English that was super out there. Probably definitely New England, but I just, to me it sucks me in. It just brings me right in. And there's a lot of fucked up visuals in this movie that like kind of take you off guard, and But yeah, it's to me, it's a really, 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 really wonderful movie.
Yeah, and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, I really do enjoy it. It does. They definitely just saw it, come out and be like, ooh, we could kind of make it's kind of in between Goosebumps and It. It's not as for kids as Goosebumps, but it's not as scary as It. And who doesn't love those books? I mean, those, if you're into horror, those books were on your shelf as a kid.
I never read them.
No?
Surprisingly enough. Like, it doesn't resonate with me as much because I never read the scary. I was more of a Goosebumps kid.
Yeah.
Like, I had every Goosebumps book, but I never really got into the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Yeah, so I really did enjoy that movie. I know Jamie's vote because she texted it to me because she's trying to reset a little bit. Where are you heading? Because this is kind of a clash between two of your favorites, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know which way you're leaning.
Again, Hereditary to me is the better Ari Aster movie. Although I do like Midsommar. It's definitely a weird movie. I can understand the hate it gets. I get why it's not for everybody. Again, I'm one of those that, like, I need the movie to be weird and make me feel strange inside to really have an effect. Yeah. And this movie definitely does that. I do like the idea of, like, I call it like midday horror or like noontime horror, where it's like horror that takes place primarily during the day. I don't think you get that a lot, and I think that's this was a great,
tough to do,
great version of it. But The Lighthouse, I think, it is my favorite Eggers movie, even though I love The Witch. I think this is like peak Eggers. It's exactly what you get with his movies, and he nails it. Plus, again, I love Pattinson. I think he's a great actor. I love Dafoe. He's a great actor. And visually, it's a great movie. I love the Cthulhu mythos, which I think this movie draws a lot from. So it's definitely worth it. Ready or Not's fun, but it's not better than these two movies.
It's tough to kind of compete with those. So Jamie's voting Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Okay.
I think to a surprise of nobody. I think I'm convinced. I think because we're doing 25 best horror movies the last 25 years, I do think we have to throw a nod to those guys being Aster and Eggers. So I'm good with going Lighthouse. I obviously love it a lot more than The Witch. Midsommar wasn't going to win anyways, so don't need to throw a vote that way. So to kind of break up that tie, I'm okay with The Lighthouse just because I do love that theme, the vibe, the performances keep you into it. Maybe it's the New England love coming out other than for The Witch, but it's just, I do like that atmosphere and that uneasiness. And I do admire movies that are able to hold my attention while still being one setting.
Right.
So and that's tough to do. So I'm good with that. So Jamie is back. We just concluded the votes. I put your vote in for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Unfortunately, The Lighthouse held up.
I figured it wouldn't make it.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the next year. And
so so now we've hit 2020, which unfortunately is the COVID year. Everything kind of slammed shut, came to a standstill. Movies weren't as prevalent that year. It was definitely a kind of started the slow build back up to just traditional, everybody being able to go out again. But 2020, we still had some decent movies that I think we need to talk about. One is The Invisible Man, which I think is a really, really good take on that movie. Freaky, another Blumhouse vehicle that did better than it should have. Candyman. So you mentioned the Candyman. That's like the pseudo sequel to the original. And Willy's Wonderland came out in 2020.
Yes.
So I figured
what
this
an
year,
awesome year.
This year might. Oh wait, you know what? Sorry, I'm an idiot. Let me start again. Sorry, I'm reading 2021. My bad.
I got hyped up. I was like, damn, that was a good year.
Don't shoot me. I gave away the next year. So 2020. Sorry,
2020. Starting over. We don't know what we're talking about in 21 yet.
The Invisible Man. That came out in
2020. Okay.
Freaky came out in 2020. Yep. I put Quiet Place Part 2 because there wasn't a whole lot to talk about in 2020. So we had the Quiet Place, the sequel. Yep. And we had Hubie Halloween came out in 2020.
Number one.
Put that on the list.
Hubie
I know
Halloween
what Nick's voting for.
You don't even have to ask my vote. Cast it. Ballot.
So
done.
Bad. Such a bad movie. I don't like it at all.
Oh, it's amazing. It's one of his best.
God, Nick loves Hubie Halloween.
It's Adam Sandler at his finest.
So to me, it's down to two movies here. I think
Hubie Halloween and what else?
Yeah. Two of them are throwaways, and unfortunately, sorry, Nick, Hubie Halloween is a terrible movie. That movie's awful. I hate that movie.
It's so good. You just don't appreciate it.
I watched 20 minutes of it and I said, nope, turn
you just
that
don't
shit
get
up.
it. You don't get it. You just don't understand.
And obviously, A Quiet Place 2, part 2, a decent sequel. Not my favorite. Quiet Place was better. Wasn't wild about this movie, but to me, The Invisible Man, I was worried that, like, again, I'm not a monsters guy. I don't really like a lot of monsters movies, but this movie, like, it took the idea of the Invisible Man and completely gave you something new. Plus, Elizabeth Moss is incredible. She's another really, really great actor that doesn't, I don't think, get as much credit as she should. And she was really, really, really good in this movie. And then Freaky's fun. I like Freaky. I love that take on the Freaky Friday, that switch bodies type thing. But then, like, kind of twist it in a way that, like, you make the female lead, like, she ends up being the killer for most of it. I think that was a pretty cool idea. But I think for 2020, for as shitty of a year that was, I think I got to give it to The Invisible Man.
Yeah. Jamie, where are you at?
I think I'm also going to go with The Invisible Man. I like that remake. Like Elizabeth, I want to say, is it Elizabeth Banks or Elizabeth Moss? I'm sorry, Elizabeth Moss. Elizabeth Moss. I really love her acting too. She's great in Us as well. Not going to go with Hubie Halloween, even though it's one of Nick's favorite movies of all time for some unholy, ungodly reason.
Yeah, because it's fucking hilarious.
It's not going to be a quiet.
There's a Jello mold and a bunch of hot dog wieners.
It's not going to be A Quiet Place 2. What is the other one I'm missing here?
We have The Invisible Man, Freaky, Hubie Halloween, and A Quiet Place.
Well, it looks like it's going to The Invisible Man for me because it's not going to be Freaky either.
All right. Well, in all seriousness, I'm not going to vote Hubie Halloween. I get it. It's not a horror. I can't.
You're not gonna stand by Hubie like that. That's rude.
I can't put him on the 25 best horror movies. It's not a horror movie. It's a comedy. Okay, it's genius. If this was 25 best comedy movies of the last 25 years, it'd fucking win. It'd win every fucking year that it came. Like, I'd put it every year.
really put that one on there for you, and you're really not going to choose it. That's rude.
I did put that one on for Nick.
I've been true to the idea of this podcast. Okay, I haven't really wavered. I gave Lighthouse the vote because I think it deserves it. I don't have a lot of favoritism on these ones. I think I've been pretty accurate with going through these movies. Freaky is really fun. These Blumhouse movies are just fun. They're not going to win any of the years, but they're fun to talk about and they're fun to revisit. It's such an easy watch. It's probably clocking at like an hour 45. You put it on in the background. It's Vince Vaughn fucking around for a little bit. It's Catherine Newton, I think it is as well. It's just fun. And they do well. Invisible Man, I think I'm really surprised that we didn't get more immediate contemporary Universal monster remakes. I know since then, like recently, we had Frankenstein, but that was more of a period piece. That wasn't in today's day and age.
And that was more of a traditional take on the novel. So
yeah, and I know we have The Mummy coming out soon. That I don't know if it's contemporary or not.
I don't think so. This is actually technically a sequel to the original, like the not the original
Boris Karloff.
No, this is like a remake. This not a remake, but it's a continuation of the oh my god, the cup of coffee, the ride one. What's his name?
Well, Brendan Fraser. Well, so they are making another one of those, but there is a The Mummy movie coming out.
Oh, is it really? Okay, then never
that's
mind.
not
Lee Cronin.
They are also. Yeah, Lee Cronin, but they are doing, and it might be contemporary. I don't know. I know we had the Wolfman from Lee Winnell, I think it was, that wasn't perceived well. But I thought they could have kind of tackled these monsters in a contemporary way because this was also with, I think, Oliver Jackson Cohen, who is from the Haunting of Hill House series as well. Yep. So a big Mike Flanagan boy. I thought this was just such a fun idea of like, oh, how do we make an Invisible Man work? I was like, oh shit, he's got a fucking like Invisible Man suit that uses all these camera projections and stuff like that. I thought that was very good. Elizabeth Moss puts up a performance of a lifetime. It's just terrified in this thing. I really enjoyed this movie a lot, so I will vote for Invisible Man.
I agree. So that was
one of our quicker ones.
Yeah, well, because unfortunately, there's only so many you really can pick from when everybody is stuck inside. All right, so 2021. Let's get back to what I was saying. 2021. This is going to be a tough year, I think. We have The Black Phone. We have Malignant.
Ooh.
We have Candyman, the remake, or not the sequel, and we have Willy's Wonderland. The better
Willy's Wonderland
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, Willy's Wonderland is genius. Nicolas Cage is just in there, just smashing threes all night.
Oh, he is the best. I need to watch it.
It's actually very
again.
fun. I watched it recently again.
Yeah, it's way better than Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well,
It's the
100%. It is the better idea. Oh, yes, it is.
Undeniably.
Just straight up Nick Cage, like sucking down those energy drinks, going fucking ham wild.
Playing
like
Russian energy
games.
drinks or something.
Doesn't say a goddamn thing.
They sold all those props off. I really
Damn,
wanted to
that's
buy
awesome.
one.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, they were all on eBay. It wasn't long ago. I put it on our story maybe a couple of years ago. But yeah, they were selling them for like a couple grand, like maybe $8,000 to $10,000 or something.
yeah.
But
oh, darn.
I love it. I don't. Again, I'm putting my biases aside. I don't know if I can vote for it for 25 best horror
No, I
movies.
can't either.
You know, but it is a
fun
favorite
movie,
of mine. So what else? So we had
Black Phone, Malignant, and Candyman.
I wasn't the biggest Malignant fan.
Really? Okay.
No, maybe I just have to revisit it. I think I wasn't a fan of it when I left the theater. That's like the Voldemort movie, right? Like the thing's growing out of the back of her head.
Yeah, I mean that's the big twist at the end.
It's
It's her twin. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I liked that idea. I thought it was creepy.
I think I'm kind of indifferent on that. Yeah.
Spoilers, yeah.
That's okay. It came out
a while, yeah.
So you're a little late. Not one of my favorites because it's not standing out to me clearly. So I don't think I can put a vote on it. Black Phone, I thought, and I still think is phenomenal. Again, Ethan Hawke might be able to take home 2 for this episode. And then Candyman, which is kind of followed suit like with that 2018 Halloween, where it's like, you know what? Maybe we can modernize some of these slashers or 80s horror movies and turn it around into like a little bit better. I thought that was a brilliant job making that movie. It was scary.
I like that movie, yeah.
Soundtrack, imagery was just amazing. So I think I'm between Candyman and Black Phone. This is tough.
Agree with you. I am between Black Phone and Candyman. I think Candyman was a great homage to the original. They didn't necessarily like just fill it with a whole bunch of fan service. It wasn't just like a shot for shot remake or anything like that. It was an actual true to life sequel. But they did their own thing and they modernized it. Plus, I love the art style.
Yeah.
Switching between the live action with the actual like paper mache art,
Stop
I think was
motion.
really like, it was an awesome idea to do that. Kind of, they did it in Krampus a little bit, right? I mean, they kind of, when she was telling her story, same idea. So I liked that. I liked that about it. But again, the Black Phone, great source material. Awesome short story by Joe Hill turned into a wonderful movie. Ethan Hawke plays an incredible bad guy. I really do think he plays a really, really good bad guy.
I love him.
And it's a simple story. You know, a child abduction turns into, how do I get out of this? Mix it with the supernatural. I think it just all fits together so well. And it really has that early 70s feel, growing up in the 70s, early 80s, which it kind of, obviously it's kind of become a trend lately. It's like everything seems to be like based in the 70s and 80s, but I think in this particular movie, it works really well. So I think my vote, as close as it is, would go to the Black Phone over Candyman, but it's close.
It is very close. I mean, Candyman, I was just kind of re-looking through some of the cast. I not that I forgot, but I was trying to remember everybody. This was directed by Nia DaCosta, who I feel like I always look for the Marvel stuff. She directed the Marvels, the movie.
Right, of course. Everything is like Marvel's related now.
Yeah, Abdul-Mateen. He was just in the new Marvel series, Wonder Man.
Yep.
He's phenomenal.
That's right,
in
he
this.
was. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I forgot Coleman Domingo's in Candyman as well, who's probably one of the best actors of this new generation. And I think he's in talks for Marvel as well now at this point. But
of course he is. Everybody.
I mean, who isn't? Who isn't really? But I think I'm kind of with you. I think I am leaning towards Black Phone as well. I think. But yeah, Jamie, what are your thoughts? I mean, I know this is probably your all-timer. I don't think you need to discuss a lot.
Yeah, it's also going to be Black Phone for me. There's no question about it.
Figured it'd be,
but I do very much so love Jordan Peele's Candyman as well.
Yeah.
Were you guys able to catch that last bit?
Yeah, good. Keep going. You're good.
No, I was going to say that I'll pick the Black Phone. I do really enjoy Jordan Peele's Candyman. Thought it was really well done. Thought it was a nice kind kind of like the Halloween kind of sequel to the direct original and stuff like that. But there's just something about the Black Phone. When we had first seen the preview and the trailer in the movie theater, I was like, we got to go see this movie in theaters. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. And there's very rare times when there's movies I'm excited to see that I end up liking as much as I anticipated. And this was definitely one of them. Like you said, I mean, Ethan Hawke is just phenomenal, Mason Thames, and just to see him now in the new How to Train Your Dragon live action and now the Black Phone 2 and all that it's become, it's really, really cool. But I think the Black Phone takes this one, and I think it'll be unanimous from us.
Yeah, and it's not because Ethan Hawke's in both of them, but it does give me a little bit of that Sinister vibe too, where it's like that Super 8 footage style. It's just because it has
and
those
that's Scott
cutscenes
Derrickson
in
at
Black
his
Phone
best.
as well. I think the not throwback, but the I can't think of the term right
the
now.
flashbacks when he's talking on the phone, kind of
where it's like showing the past. It's kind of in that Super 8 style footage, and then I don't know. I really do like that, and this was. Yeah, R.I.P. to was it James Ransom?
James Ransom, yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's
Scott Derrickson
so,
likes to
yeah,
use...
I think Black Phone takes it for 21. Right.
All
so
righty. 2022, we're getting near the end. The nice thing is it's like recent, so we can actually remember the movies.
These should be a little bit easier, hopefully.
So 2022, we have Barbarian.
Okay.
We have Smile. Told you we'd talk about it again.
Yeah.
X and Talk to Me.
Oh, shit. This is a tough year for me.
Yeah, because they're all good movies.
Yeah. Okay, so X, Talk to Me.
Barbarian.
Smile. I have no idea where I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah, this one's tough. I think it's close. I think they're all relatively close. As much as I hate to put it this way, but Smile for me is bottom. I like Smile, but I think it does what It Follows did, but not as good. And I don't like the way that movie ended, but either way, Smile is kind of like at the bottom for me. But it's close. Like it's not like a bad bottom. It's just not of the four. For me, it really comes down to Barbarian and X. I think X is such a great take on like grindhouse slasher. Obviously, like the trilogy as a whole definitely helps. I think fondly on the whole trilogy, but X really set it off. Plus, it kind of it really does give us like Mia Goth at her full powers.
Yeah,
I think she was kind of like up and coming, but then when she did this, like she kind of just became the new Scream Queen in a lot of ways. And not only is she the Scream Queen, she's also like the best bad guy too, because she plays both. Like she's the Scream Queen and the bad guy, and I think that's a great twist on the genre. And like I'm not wild about Ty West. I don't think he's like the greatest director ever, but like he did wonders with this trilogy and with this movie specifically. Plus you get a really good cast. Even Kid Cudi is really good at this. So like I have to say that like I think it was a really, really well made movie, really well cast, and
huge wiener too. Got to get that out there.
Well,
big wiener.
I mean, it's about a porno, so I mean,
it gave me a lot of Chainsaw vibes.
Yeah,
Texas.
It definitely had a lot of Texas Chainsaw to it. I think that's where that '70s grindhouse comes from. But it was also a decent take on the story too. So
this is tough for me. So I love Barbarian. I don't know if this was Kreger's first, but I know this kind of set him on the path that he's been on now.
Yeah.
I thought that was such a fun bait and switch kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
The first like 30 minutes, you think you're in a movie, and then it kind of ends, and you're like, oh shit, we're restarting now. Like this is a whole nother movie. Like what the? It caught me completely off guard. I went into that movie, I think about as blind as I could have been, but also because of the marketing. I don't think the trailer
didn't give away a lot.
Us much.
Yeah.
So I love that. X, I love. It's just a very straightforward, classic, like 70s grindhouse slasher. Like it's just it's. I don't want to say it's simple because that's kind of downplaying it, but it just kind of did what it needed to do.
Well, the story is simple. The story is very straightforward, like you said. But everything around it, surrounding it, is definitely different. And you don't really expect what happens to happen. So
yeah, I have the similar thoughts to you, but the exact opposite about Smile. I think it is very much just It Follows, but better. And the one that I don't think you even talked about
is Talk to Me. Yeah,
might be my favorite out of these.
Really,
I loved that. Again,
yeah, it's a good movie. I don't disagree with you. Yeah,
I feel like I kind of give a boost to certain movies that kind of came out of nowhere and kind of felt, not that it felt low budgety and like DIY, but
But it was
I think these
DIY.
were like
I think it was.
YouTuber kids.
Yeah, they were two YouTubers that kind of they basically came together to make the movie.
That's huge. That's a big deal. So I honestly have no idea where I'm going. Jamie, I feel like I don't know where you're at on these because I don't think you like a lot of these.
I don't like a lot of these. The only one I really do like out of these is Barbarian, probably. Because Talk to Me, I didn't enjoy as much as others. X, I like, but it's not my favorite out of that trilogy. And what was the other one I'm missing? I'm sorry. Smile. Oh, well, Smile. Oh, it's just like you said, Seamus. I said it before. I feel like it's just the same as It Follows, and everyone friggin' loves Smile, but no one liked It Follows. So, not gonna go with Smile, unfortunately. But I do really enjoy the sequel, and maybe we'll talk about it. So I don't want to get too much into that. But probably gonna have to go with Barbarian on this one. Like you said, Nick, I thought Barbarian was a really cool storyline. You thought it was gonna be going one place, and you thought Alexander Skarsgård was gonna be your main bad guy, and he wasn't. And then obviously we get some Justin Long in there, another one of my favorite guys, which is always nice. I will say though, I think Talk to Me grew on me after a couple more watches because I really did not like it when we first saw it in the theater.
Yeah. So, Seamus, where are you leaning then?
So it sounds like you're leaning Talk to Me. She's leaning Barbarian.
I'm still like kind of undecided. I mean, I think Smile's out of the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, Smile's not going to get my vote. I like Talk to Me. I think it was a solid idea. I love the idea that it was a DIY small budget YouTubers kind of came out of nowhere to make a really solid movie. I like when success stories like that happen because it's not all the same schlock you get out of Hollywood. So it's for me though, it's down to Barbarian and X. I think Barbarian definitely the bait and switch in that movie was just incredible. It completely took me by surprise. Justin Long is amazing. I mean, all the actors in it are really good. I mean, again, Bill Skarsgård coming out of nowhere, and you're like, oh shit, you're in this too. Like, it's another one of those movies where it's like the cast just kind of throws you off. Like, you don't expect the cast that you get in it.
Yeah.
But I still lean X. And I'm not like the slasher guy out of the three of us. Like, I like certain slashers, but I find a lot of them are just simple and pedantic. X it completely it flips it on its head. Plus, I think Mia Goth is another one of those actresses or actors that like has really kind of like become like the talk of the town. Like if you want to make a solid movie, whether it's horror or otherwise, I think you bring her in. But I don't know. I mean, she's one of those that's like you don't even realize she's British until she talks in a regular voice. But like in X, she's just like, you could have told me she was from Texas. I would have believed you.
Country bumpkin.
Yeah.
As Jamie would say. Yeah, so I'm cool with taking Talk to Me out. Now I am stuck between X and Barbarian.
Right, so that comes down to the vote. Like, you kind of break the vote then.
I am the slasher guy. I think, again, looking at best of 25, I think I do give I think I sway a little bit more towards something that really surprises me, and that was Barbarian.
Fair.
You know, I think X was a little straightforward. I've very much still enjoyed it. It's not a knock on it. It just, it knew what it was, and it was very open with what it was, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do. And it was brilliant. I would say that the ones that were after it kind of catch you more off guard.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Pearl was so just bizarre.
Pearl was definitely different.
Yeah.
Kind of doing the whole musical thing. And again, Mia Goth is incredible in it.
Yeah. And that's why I love that trilogy, because they're all very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get 70s slasher, you get 80s, like, true crime sort of slasher, and you have Pearl, which is like that 50s Technicolor style.
Yeah.
So, you know, not to go on those, but it's fun. But Barbarian really just caught me off guard. Director, I wasn't really sure about or knew much about. I don't think I even knew Justin Long was in it, because I don't think he was really shown. I feel like they only focused on that first 20 minutes and kept the whole movie hidden from you. Yeah. I'd have to go back and rewatch the trailer to see like
he's
what
in
was
like
in
the
there.
Most second
but
half, I feel
he was,
yeah.
and like we didn't. I don't think we anticipated him. Like, I don't even know if I knew he was in it. Like, I thought we were watching the movie, and then it's switched to a whole new movie.
Right.
So it caught me off guard. I'm going to give it to Barbarian.
Okay.
That was a tough year.
No, it's fair. It's a fair
That's a killer.
pick. I think Barbarian is definitely for me a close second to X. So
Yeah.
100%. All right, so 2023, we're almost at the end, but 2023, I think it's another one of those years where you have one solid movie and then 3 decent ones. I did throw one in here for you, Jamie, so I'll let you go. But we have Late Night with the Devil.
Ooh.
We have Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh.
We have Renfield, and we have Thanksgiving.
Ah.
Shit. Okay.
I know what I'm voting, but I mean,
do
again,
too.
I'm pretty much already set in what I'm voting for. But I'll let
coming off of last year. These are all downgrades, but comparable to each other. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, so we got Late Night with the Devil, Five Nights,
Renfield,
another Nicolas Cage in there.
Another Nick Cage vehicle.
All right, I'm taking Renfield out. I thought it was very fun and funny. I enjoyed it. Not in the categories of 25 best horror.
No, I agree with you.
Five Nights, I'm taking it out. Not in the category of 25 best horror.
Come on, that was my vote.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm kidding.
Was Colin voting in your vote?
No. The answer is no.
So that leaves us between Late Night with the Devil and what was the last one? Thanksgiving. Which I really enjoy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Another
underrated
fun
slasher movie.
Yeah, fun contemporary. Kind of tries to do the Scream thing, the whodunit slasher, which since then, I mean, sure, it was done before then as well, but Scream did it the best and most notably, and it has been copied, ad nauseum at this point. But it was still fun. Eli Roth, not going complete Eli Roth, which was nice. It wasn't, drills to the kneecaps and all that bullshit. Late Night the Devil was just so fucking good. So where are you guys headed? Since you guys said you're both pretty set in stone.
I'm Late Night. I mean, Late Night with the Devil is the best movie of 2023, and I don't think it's close. I think that movie, it took a lot of what we kind of have seen before, but also did it, in a way that was somewhat, it still felt unique. It felt like you were watching an old 70s talk show. I do kind of wish there were some things about it. I wish they were, they went a little bit harder, like make it look more like a washed out VHS tape, like actually give it some of that like weird looking, like
the like graininess,
image graininess to make it feel more like that. But at the same time, I think it was really, really good. David Mastalakian, or I don't know how you say his last name. Dastmalchian or whatever. I love him. He's another actor that like I don't think gets enough credit, but you see him in everything and you're like, oh, that's that guy. Like
he's a that guy.
He's definitely a that guy, but like he is so good in this. Plus, again, I don't know her name, but the girl, whoever plays the girl,
Lily,
like the psychic girl, she's so good, and like it just completely, like it just brings that movie together. I feel like it needed a bigger push, and it didn't get as much of a push as it should have. The fact that like Shudder had to be the one to like kind of drop it, I just think it's another one of those where if you haven't seen it, you really do need to watch this movie, give it a chance, because it is really, really good. So for me, it's Late Night with the Devil.
That was Ingrid Torelli. That was her feature length debut.
Was it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she had only done short films before that.
Yeah.
So Jamie, where are you? Are you Late Night as well?
I'm also picking Late Night with the Devil. Yes.
Yeah, I think that was my pick too.
Just all around,
like you said, Seamus. I don't
movie.
Yeah, I like you said, Seamus. I don't think it's necessarily that close, but I do really enjoy Thanksgiving. It is an annual watch.
Yeah, I like Thanksgiving. I think again, if you're just looking for, just a straightforward gore movie with a decent little twist at the end, it's definitely worth picking up and watching. If you like Scream, like you said, Scream's a great comparison. I think it's like a poor man's type of Scream movie, and it's even got like the goofy David Arquette light cop in it. Who again, I've seen that guy in everything, but just not like super, super well known. All right, second to last year. So we're like in the last couple of years, 2024, we have The Substance, Long Legs, Nosferatu, the remake, and Speak No Evil, which I think was another one that flew kind of under the radar.
That was like the remake of like the Swedish film.
It had
James McAvoy.
Yeah, James McAvoy in it. Yep.
Okay. Don't shoot me. Still haven't seen Nosferatu. Not really my style. Very long, drawn out.
I've only seen it once.
I tried it. Yeah,
it's dry.
I tried it. Couldn't get into it.
Bill Skarsgård's still, he's still a beast of an actor, but not enough to carry this movie, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah, so I'm kind of taking that out. Speak No Evil, I think I watched once on Peacock.
I got to watch it again because it's been a while. I think I watched it when it came out, but that's about it.
That's another one that McAvoy definitely carries, but I don't think it was enough for me to keep it around. And then the other, what were the other two?
Substance and Longlegs.
Okay, I mean, I know what I'm going for at this point. What are you guys at?
Yeah, for me, it's between The Substance and the Longlegs. I like Nosferatu. It's not a bad remake. I think it kind of takes away a little bit from what the original really was. Obviously, you're remaking a movie from the 1920 something, 1921 or whatever that movie came out. So anytime you try to remake a silent movie into a talkie, it's always going to be a little rough. But it's still a decent movie. It's just long. I think, like you said, Nick, it's a long, super, super slow burn. And it's a period piece. If you're not really into period pieces, probably not going to be for you. Speak No Evil, decent movie. I like James McAvoy, but again, nothing to write home about, I don't think. But out of all the movies that came out in 2024, I think it was one of the better ones. But really, it comes down to Substance and Longlegs. Longlegs is not traditionally a horror movie, but it is got enough horrific suspense elements in it that I included it. And plus it's Nick Cage, and Nick Cage is Nick Cage. So it's hard to pick against him. But for me, I think The Substance is such a wacky, off the wall type idea that completely blew me away when I saw it for the first time. That movie is really, really good. Demi Moore is still, she's still got it. She's still a hell of an actor. Really, really moving in this movie. Like, you feel for this woman. And plus, I'm not good with names, but the younger actress, the actor that plays the younger Demi Moore, I forget her, Margaret Qualley. There you go. She's really good too. It's definitely a wacky movie. It's not one that it doesn't follow any rules, I don't think. Like, if you're expecting a traditional horror movie, it doesn't follow those traditional rules, but it's definitely weird, out there. And if you like sci-fi horror, it's definitely worth it. So I think for me, my vote is The Substance.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest body horror person.
Which, again, that's another good point. I didn't bring up the fact that it's really body horror, but
yeah, just not always my cup of tea. I think I'm going Longlegs. I got to give Nick Cage the win, and your girl from It Follows.
Micah Monroe.
That's true. That's right. She is.
She is.
Yep. So I loved it. It gave me a lot of that. Just, it felt very of its time, kind of like with Black Phone. Like, it felt
Seven,
like that period
too, in a lot of way too.
Yeah, it was just
definitely
like that.
A lot of David Fincher.
I love that. Yeah, I love that detective work, that grossness, that dirtiness, getting your hands dirty on the case. Nicolas Cage was just terrifying imagery wise.
Horrifying in that movie.
And it allowed Nick Cage to be Nick Cage, and it didn't feel weird.
Right.
It wasn't like, oh, here's Nick Cage again. Like, it was like, oh, this character's fucking insane.
Right. No, he felt like a psychopath, like an actual serial killer.
It gives me a lot. If you listened to our older Shutter Sundays, it reminds me a lot of Dead Mail. It's kind of that. It just feels like that 70s. It's just, I don't know how to, correctly articulate the feeling of the 70s, but it's like just dirty, brown, monotone. Like, it just felt like it wasn't completely fresh with the technology that we have today, and I love that about it.
Yeah, it's shot really well. And a lot of things, it's similar with a lot of the movies we've talked about. I think a lot of them are shot a certain way that really kind of resonates. But yeah, that movie it's definitely really good. If you like Seven, Longlegs is definitely a pseudo inspiration from that.
So Jamie's the tiebreaker.
I am,
here.
And tough to say, as much as I really enjoyed Longlegs, and I love Micah Monroe in mostly all the films she's been in, and I really like the storyline, the cinematography, the score, all phenomenal. But I feel like I'm going to have to go with The Substance because it did surprise me, and it was something that I didn't think I would like. I'm usually not into body horror either, and my friends had seen this before I did. They were like, you're going to love this movie. You've really got to watch it. And I'm like, I don't know. Everyone's been hyping it up. I don't really know if I'm going to be into it. And I absolutely loved it. Margaret Qualley and Demi Moore are phenomenal, like you said, Seamus. Just the scenes of young Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley pulling the activator out of her back and sticking the needle back and forth into the open wounds, and just But
Yeah, it's
oh
so
my God, it's
gross.
so gross. But it's just such a cool and interesting movie, and it's just a lot of like weird, funky scenes, and it's so hard to explain. But I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I would, and it's usually not a type of horror that I'm into. So I think that's why I got to pick this one. Longlegs, I knew I was gonna like already.
And for me, like, yeah, I think for
I
me,
thought you were going to go
I
long
know.
legs.
I think it's close. It's there's the two best movies of the year.
Yeah.
But for me, like The Substance, just I already have a debilitating fear of aging, and that movie just really plays on that fear
And that too,
with
it's
me a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's really
Nick,
really
you got to
good.
watch it still.
Yeah, I haven't finished it. I'm not a big body horror fan.
That's okay.
All right, our penultimate
Fine.
year, 2025.
Finally.
We just finished the year. We're into the next quarter of the 2000s, but we have 2025. You probably already know what movies are going to be on here, but we've got Sinners, we got Weapons, we got the Frankenstein movie, the remake, which I thought was a really, really good movie. And we get The Long Walk, another one that I don't think people are really giving as much credit to. It's another Stephen King adaptation, but for all the bad adaptations, this is one of the more decent ones. Again, is it a horror movie? I think there's parts of it that could be argued that it isn't, but part of it I think it is. And Stephen King is obviously our thespian of our era. He is the thespian of the mid 1900s into the 2000s. So I think he deserves some mentions. But I think it's, again, out of the four, I think this comes down to two. I think we can all agree on that.
I
Maybe
think so too. I think.
But I think Frankenstein deserves at least some props. I think it's definitely it's again kind of like The Invisible Man in the sense that like it's a contemporary take on the story, but although Invisible Man's more like contemporary in its theming and its setting, Frankenstein definitely takes place at in the story that you're used to. But for me, it's like the cast. I think the cast's so well done. You've got Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein. You got Mia Goth as his brother's wife and love interest for him. Names are terrible with me, but the dude that plays Frankenstein, who's in
Jacob
a
Elordi.
bunch of stuff now, and he's like really Jacob Elordi. He's really good. He's really, really, really good. He plays an incredible version of the monster, which is again more. It definitely follows the book more than other adaptations do, and I think it's a really solid a take on it. But when it comes down to what movie last year is the best movie of the year when it comes to horror movies, it's Sinners. Like I don't think there's any argument for me. I think Weapons is really good. I like Weapons, but Sinners is just, between the acting, the story, the writing, the music, it's a really, really good whole when it comes to movies.
Yeah, I'm torn between Sinners and Weapons right now. I love both of them. Weapons was just I love those multi-stories that collide with one another. I thought that was really good. I mean, the acting across the board, the fact that we got this many people in there was just insane. Benedict Wong, Josh Brolin, I forget the girl's name from Ozark, the lead, which I should remember by Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Julia Garner.
Jennifer Garner. Julia Gardner. Again, we have Silver Surfer, Thanos, and Wong. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to go against Sinners. It really is. So I think that's kind of where I'm at. Jamie, where are you? Because curious where you're at on these ones.
It's tough. I feel like it's also going to be between Sinners and Weapons. But I mean, I know it's tough because I feel like 2025 was such a big year for horror for so many people. And I feel like there wasn't too much new stuff that I watched in 2025 that really stood out to me that much. So I feel like I'm just going to go with kind of the pick that I already had in mind, which would be Sinners. I feel like the Frankenstein movie, I had started it and I didn't finish it yet, but I did enjoy it. The Long Walk, is that what it was called? The Long Walk, Seamus? I've heard is very depressing and unsettling, and I've heard
it is a very unsettling, depressing
and I
movie.
kind of want to watch it. I've heard great things about it too, but I just haven't gotten around to checking it out yet. But I think all around, just for its originality and creativity and just the music and the acting and everything about it, I'm just gonna have to go with Sinners.
No Black Phone 2
vote
for 2025.
No.
I avoided sequels.
Yeah, I was going to say we already had the original.
I loved it. I think I liked it more than the original.
So
yeah, I haven't watched
So
it
that's what
yet,
I was
to be
going to
honest with
say
you, so-
about Smile 2. I think the Smile 2 sequel is exceptionally better than the first one.
I don't think I've seen
Oh,
that
it's
one either.
good.
I think I watched the first
It's
one,
good.
and I didn't like the first one, so I didn't even
I
bother
think you'll
with
like
the
the
is better.
second one better.
Is it? I'll have to watch it.
It
then.
is a lot better. Alrighty, so Sinners takes 2025, and that
It
rounds
does.
out our whole
Woo!
list.
That wraps out the 2025 up to this point. We've 25 years into the 2000s.
Crazy.
I think I blows me away that some of these movies came out when they did, and I'm like, oh my god, it's been that long. But yeah, it's pretty good. Do you want to run through the list of what we picked, or?
Yeah. Let's go through the final what we did for this this episode.
Real quick. So 2011, we ended up with Cabin in the Woods. 2012 was Sinister. 2013 was The Conjuring. 2014 was It Follows. 2015 was Krampus. 2016 was Split. 2017, Get Out. 2018, Halloween. 2019 was The Lighthouse. 2020 was The Invisible Man. 2021 was The Black Phone. 2022 was Barbarian. 2023 was Late Night with the Devil. 2024 was The Substance. And 2025 was Sinners. So that was fun. I'm glad we did this because I don't usually get too many ideas that pop into the old noggin. But when I saw this one, I was like, I got to do this. We got to do this.
This is a good one. I mean, we talked... I can't count all the movies outside of the 4 per year, but we talked at least about 100 movies.
Yeah. It's something like that. Yeah. So 4 times
25.
So whatever that is.
But all those other random movies we talked about as well. So I love talking horror movies. This is something that we can probably revisit maybe for a different decade. Maybe we do the 90s and then the 80s.
Yeah, we can figure
That'll be fun. But yeah, these are really fun episodes that I hope you all enjoy them and continue supporting these styles because I have a lot of fun with these ones. It's a fun little engagement, conversation piece, which is always good. But yeah, I mean, we've been here for a while. We pushed through a couple cameras going down and a couple mics cutting out. So hopefully everything comes through on the back end. But we will be back next week. I'm not sure exactly with what yet. We might do a spec map episode going over the newest one for the Friday the 13th drop to get Jamie's thoughts and opinions on that. And we also have a special episode. I believe we are recording on Monday, but I don't want to announce anything yet just in case we have to shift stuff around. But that is going to be a really fun one with a very special guest. So I'm very excited to get them on this, the podcasts. So we will, we'll stay tuned. Stay tuned to the socials. We'll kind of figure out what we're going forward with. And yes, we are creeping closer and closer to speculation season. So I'm sure we will have more rumors and stuff to discuss. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy these episodes as well, because like I said, they are a blast. Well, until next time, this is Nick.
This is Seamus.
This is Jamie.
Happy haunts.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on whatever streaming platform you are listening to us on. You can find us on all of our socials at Fear and Beer Pod.